Festival of Action last year. My name is Tolu Olubumi, and I will be your host, guiding you through today's program. I am particularly excited to be in this room with so many people that inspire me. Like many of you, I started my career helping to build the largest immigrant youth movement in US history. I understand what it takes to work towards building a more inclusive and just world. I've spent the years since starting my career building social impact initiatives focused on migration, education, access to technology, and climate change. I know, again, what it takes to put your inner convictions into action. That is why I am so honored to be here and humbled to recognize and celebrate each and every one of you. This is our moment to both celebrate and shine a light on those who make a difference in our world every single day. They are the SDG actors that mobilize, inspire, and connect people to drive change. The SDG story is about what most people want, right? More inclusive, peaceful, and sustainable societies, no later than 2030. We know that, especially after 2 years of the pandemic that has turned the world upside down, it is time to react, reset, and restart. Old models have not delivered. We need new ones. That is why the UN SDG Action Campaign is calling for people who are changing the narrative to shape a new reality. It's about knowing that the impossible is possible if we work together. It means taking back our world because it belongs to all people, not just a few. We need to flip the script to achieve a healthy, just, and green world, the ambitions at the heart of the 2030 agenda. The 2022 UN SDG Awards are about finding those who are flipping the script and rethinking how we live and what progress and development looks like. We have a packed evening of reflections, insights, art, celebrations ahead. We will be hearing from some of the expert judges who have helped to select this year's award winners. We've also got music and poetry coming your way. And most importantly, we will be handing out some awards. We are delighted to also welcome back our 2020 Inspire Award winners, Signs TV. They are providing international sign language interpretation this evening. A shout out to Minnie and Lucy joining us from Kenya to support us with this. Now, thank you. Now, to all of you watching at home, we want to hear from you. Tell us who you are cheering on and send us some pictures and videos of you watching from home. Don't forget to tag @SDG Action on your social media channels. And remember to use the hashtag SDG Awards. Okay, who's ready to get started? We have some very, very special guests. We have a very special guest here tonight. But first up, we have a message from Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed.
Welcome to the UN Sustainable Development Goals Action Awards. This is an important moment to celebrate everyone who mobilizes, inspires, and connects people with transformative action for the SDGs. In the midst of unprecedented emergencies, we must shine a light on people who are making a difference. These initiatives lead by example as we work to rescue the SDGs. I congratulate you all and wish you continued success.
Thank you, Deputy Secretary General, for that message. For those of you watching online, we are very fortunate to be gathered here tonight at the Deutsche Telekom in Bonn, here to welcome us from the Deutsche Telekom team. I am delighted to be joined by Melanie Cuban-Hardewig, Vice President of Global Corporate Responsibility and a valued member of this year's judging panel. Welcome, Melanie. Okay, Melanie, so my German is a little rough. How are you supposed to pronounce that really?
It was perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Melanie.
Thank you for the very nice introduction. And also from my side, being the host in terms of the facilities tonight, a very warm welcome to everyone who's here, to everyone who is with us online, to all the finalists that we will see, whether they are here or online available, to all the performers, to the colleagues from the UN SDG Action Campaign. So really a very warm welcome from my side. So tonight, it's about the SDGs, and Tula mentioned, it's about the world we want to live in. It's a framework that gives us a common target. And this is also important for us at Deutsche Telekom, and this is why we volunteered to host this. Because we believe that since their launch in 2015, this is a very good set of goals and targets that we should all live up to. For us at Deutsche Telekom, you know, connectivity, telecommunication is key. So it's already about bringing people together with technology. But when we look at the SDGs, it's about performing against climate change, doing everything we can with our climate targets, trying to be net zero by 2040 latest, doing a lot more before by 2025, for example, for our own emissions. But it is also about looking into the supply chains. So responsible consumption is also one key SDG for us, to turn around our supply chains, to look into circularity, to create new, greener, better, more inclusive offers for people. And last but not least, it's also about the social side, which are incorporated in the SDGs when we look at education. Bringing people together also means talking about how to do this, how to use our technologies, how to do it the right way, how to avoid certain risks and problems that may come with the technology which is available, but also to help people to understand how things work, how to skill up people, and that's also what we do. And last but definitely not least, it is about partnering together. The SDG 17 is so important for us, and this is what we see here today with the UN SDG Action Campaign, bringing people together, but also working a lot with NGOs and other partners around the globe, because the SDGs are finally about cooperating. I was a peer in that process, and it was so great to see from everyone who handed in things that this is really a truly shine of hope that we can perform against these SDGs. And what I saw, and all of you somehow, notwithstanding the category into which you applied, all of you used ICT as a connecting item to bring people together, to offer solutions, to create information base. And this is what also gives me a very good and comfortable feeling that there are a lot of great people around who can help us to get the SDGs really going. I'd like to wish us a very, very good night and evening with one final quote. And I'm sorry, I have to read it out, but probably this is something that can inspire us the rest of the evening and the discussions we might have later on. It's from Margaret Mead, and she once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." And when I look at us today here, we're not just one small group of thoughtful, committed citizens. We're many groups, and this is where the power lies. And by that, I hope we have a great evening. I'm looking forward to the awards. I won't tell more about it because we'll hear from everyone else what the applications were about. Thank you, Tolu.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, and thank you for Thank you for being here. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for highlighting partnerships and the power of all of us when we come together. Really, really fantastic. Thank you. We will be announcing the winners shortly, but first, we will hear from someone who is no stranger to understanding what it takes to inspire and mobilize action, leading the UNDP's communications and advocacy as it works to realize the vision of the 2030 Agenda. Please join me in welcoming UN Assistant Secretary General and Director of UNDP's Bureau for External Relations and Advocacy, Ulrika Moder. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. That's a long title. I once met a colleague in a panel who said, I'm an eco-feminist, and I thought we should change titles. Great to see you all. Great to be here in the international city of Bonn, where also UNDP is present, United Nations Development Programme. We are present in 170 countries, and we also have the pleasure throughout the years to be part of the judges of this fantastic SDG Action Awards event. And I can only agree with those who have spoken before to say that in this world where we have to navigate sometimes in darkness, looking at the potential that we have, yes, in partnership, but also in each and every one of you as individuals, when you come up with bright ideas, that is really like lighthouses as we try to navigate through really difficult times. So I want to also do a big shout out to the colleagues in the SDG Action Campaign. I think you make this possible for us, those of you who are online, accompanying us across the world, but also those of you who are here in the international city of Bonn. Of course, thanking the city of Bonn, who I know makes this possible as well, where we need to look at how we can come together. And then, of course, also the government of Germany and the many partners that support the SDG Action Campaign, or what we can do together also with United Nations Development Programme. 2 weeks ago, we launched our Human Development Report. That is, in a way, the kind of state of the world. And what we showed then was what has been mentioned here as well, and that is that we truly live in a time that could be described as a complete uncertainty complex. Already ahead, actually, of the pandemic, we saw the numbers moving in the wrong direction because of the climate crisis. Of course, with the pandemic, the numbers with regards to health, but also access to education, all those young people who were not able to go to school. The ripple effects of that with regards to economies across the world struggling with no fiscal space. And then on top of that, of course, the consequences of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. All of this coming together makes the future very uncertain for so many people across the world. But here is, of course, where we need to come together in small groups, bigger groups, internationally, between countries, between communities, and showcase that there are indeed solutions. We can flip the script, because to each and every problem, there is a solution. And we have to showcase to those who despair that we can find them, that we can inspire, and that we can make change happen. United Nations Development Programme wants to be part of this. We're working closely with the SDG Action Campaign, with the City of Bonn, and with Germany, and I'm so much looking forward to hear what you have found, those of you who have participated this year. So ahead of what's going to happen, to congratulate each and everyone who have participated, and what's to come when you continue with your ideas to take them further. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Thank you. We are really grateful that, that you're here with us, and thank you for that incredible speech. Now, we know that you're excited about finding out the winners, but first we would like to just recognize the fact that we have the opportunity to be here in person in Bonn, the home city and headquarters of the UN SDG Action Campaign, which is made possible thanks to the support of the federal government of Germany. It is now my privilege to introduce a special message from one of our judges. at that. They had a plan. Look at that. There was a strategy in place. Okay, back to our introduction. It is my pleasure to introduce BMZ Parliamentary State Secretary Neil Zanan, who could not be here today, but wanted to contribute this important recognition moment. Please listen to his message.
My name is Niels Annen. I am Parliamentary State Secretary at the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. I know from my daily work that these are challenging times of conflict, climate change and growing inequalities. But people everywhere work hard to find solutions and make a difference. We celebrate them today. And I am honored to serve on the judging panel of the UN SDG Action Awards. The awards recognize people who are flipping the script and rethinking how we live. Worldwide, we are seeing progress that is too slow and even some setbacks on the road towards achieving the SDGs. Especially in times of global challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic, climate change, war and conflict, it is extremely important to give visibility to people who can serve as models and to their committed efforts to advance the 2030 agenda. Their stories inspire us, showing us how we can flip the script from war to peace, from apathy to action, from divisiveness to togetherness, from deadlock to change. No matter whether their work relates to empowering women, helping people to help themselves at the community level, facilitating the participation of young people, or reducing inequality, all the finalists contribute beyond their own actions towards achieving the SDGs. They mobilize and inspire others and help them to form networks. They show that each and every one of us has a responsibility and can make a difference. Maybe some of the ideas will inspire you too. I wish all the finalists every success and would like to encourage everyone to carry on. I join the UN SDG Action Campaign and calling on everyone to flip the script. Finding ways to realize the SDGs is our common path out of the crisis and towards the mutual benefits of a healthy, just and green world for all.
A huge virtual thanks to State Secretary Annen and our deepest gratitude to the federal government of Germany for the support. Now, back to our live audience and those of you hosting watch parties across the world. Don't forget to share your experience with us. We want to see you cheering on our finalists. And remember to tag SDG Action and use the hashtag SDG Awards. Now, since the war started in Ukraine, Let's Do It Ukraine has brought together a network of volunteers, organizations, departments, municipalities, donors, philanthropists, and opinion leaders to help civilians who suffered as a result of the military action within their country. Unfortunately, Yulia from Let's Do It Ukraine couldn't be here with us in person, but she did send a message.
My name is Julia Markel. I am from Let's Do It Ukraine SOS Humanitarian Aid Project. I wanted to be with you tonight to celebrate solidarity, hope, and the power of people making difference for the better today and tomorrow. But I cannot be with you as I speak. I am in Ukraine, implementing the humanitarian mission for civilians. Every day, more than 2,300 volunteers collect, pack, deliver, and distribute hundreds of food kits, medicine, and hygiene products to Ukrainians who found themselves in a difficult situation due to the full-scale war. From March to September 2022, Let's Do It Ukraine SOS volunteers organized dozens of international culture, social, and sports events in support of the project, involving stars, ambassadors, bloggers, athletes, and public opinion leaders. We attracted and distributed more 3,000 tons of humanitarian aids to 423,000 Ukrainians, distributed 107,000 food packages, organized the logistic of attracted humanitarian aid to different parts of Ukraine. There is war around me. War is one of the worst impediments to the SDGs and human rights. This is why we need to flip the script and turn war into peace, division into unity. Thank you for putting peace at the center of the mobilization in the past days. I was touched by seeing so many people around the world flipping the script and turning the word war into peace. Thank you for reminding people everywhere that war is not inevitable and that we can build peace if we work together. On behalf of my organization, let me express our appreciation for this international recognition that is giving us the strength and the courage to continue our important work. In particular, we plan to continue the search for humanitarian aid around the world to help victims of war, support shelters for migrants, open volunteer houses to support volunteers, develop the network, implement informational and educational programs for internally displaced persons, implementing our environmental programs and involve all Ukrainians. Thank you for being so supportive. We feel your solidarity, your actions, and your prayers. It gives us the courage to keep going. Thank you for believing that a different script is possible and that we can build together a peaceful tomorrow.
Wow. Thank you, Yulia, for that message. We have the deepest admiration for the work of Let's Do It Ukraine. Now, it really does give us a sobering and stark reminder of what so many people are facing in conflict-affected areas right now. Thank you for all that you do. At this time, I actually would like to ask everyone to please stand as a show of solidarity with people all around the world facing conflict and war. Thank you. Thank you. Up next, we have a special performance from Mambella, here with their song, Drop the Guns. But first, a message on peace.
Hello, everybody.
Fantastic.
It's an honor, definitely being part of this event for the second time. And it's an opportunity to share these songs called Drop the Gun, because I think it's a powerful message that we have to split to talk to the world. And the reason why I was composing this song, it was to see how we can unite and live together as one. How we can give opportunities for other people coming from other countries to discover the part of the world and have experience and exchange. Because if you don't give chance to other people to see the rest of the world, they could never make change to where they come from. And giving me a chance to see the part of the world make me being here today, sharing my experience and sharing my wishes to the world. It's time to drop the guns, because it will never solve the problem. Any war you see in this world, if there's one life gone, there's no winner. We all lose, because each person means the world. We have to drop the guns and make love. Thank you. Thank you. It's raining blood, it's raining fear over the land of the insincere. Diamond dust like a poisonous queen, staring the skin of the unfed king. Let's drop the gun. Open the doors and give God a hand. It's hard to love while you're on your knees. Hard to see when your brother bleeds. Let's take a break under the wisdom trees and share the wind while blowing us free. Let's stop the gun. Open the doors and give God a hand now. The master's plan might break apart. The wall is not bigger than your heart. Believe in you, believe in me. Bring on the peace we long to see. Let's drop the gun. Open the door. Open the door. Open the doors. Open the doors. Let's drop the gun. to be kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. What a powerful song. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Now, in spite of global challenges, actually in many ways because of it, it is vital to recognize those making a difference in the world. Tonight, we have the privilege of shining a spotlight on some outstanding achievements from across the globe. Those who are flipping the script and rewriting the story every single day for our shared future. Earlier this year, the UN SDG Action Campaign sent out a global call to find novel ideas, the transformative action and approaches with the potential to be scaled and replicated in other contexts. We looked for initiatives that mobilize, inspire, and connect people to drive action. And for the first time, individuals, the change makers that inspire and empower others through their actions. Our call was answered. Over 3,000 applications and nominations came from over 150 countries. The technical review team then read every single story, watched every single video, and immersed themselves in all of these incredible projects and teams before turning them over to an independent judging panel of experts to help make the final decisions. Shall we find out more about the finalists? Great. Wow. What an incredibly impressive lineup. Fantastic. And thank you all for being here today. This selection of initiatives really demonstrate the diversity of approaches and actions that people are taking every day to advance the SDGs. With such an inspiring group of finalists, I can see that our judges absolutely had very tough decisions to make. For this year's award program, no less than 29 experts, leaders, and innovators were tasked with selecting the winners. We were joined by leaders from the UN, local and national governments, civil society, the private sector, as well as creative activists and media, who together provided a 360 view and perspective to determine the 2022 winners. Our deepest gratitude to everyone who supported us through the selection process. Okay, so I am going to give you a sneak preview of how things are going to go as we start the award celebration. So here's how we're going to do things from here for each award category. I will share a bit about each initiative. Then we'll have a moment to recognize the finalists. Then we'll be joined on stage by some of our judges to help announce the winners. How does that sound? Are we good with that? All right. Well, let's dive into our first award category of the night, the Mobilize category. This category sought out initiatives that mobilize hundreds of thousands, even millions of individuals to take actions for the SDGs. We have 2 finalists in this category. Each has demonstrated transformative approaches to mobilization with impressive impact. Originating from Western Australia, we have Plastic Free July. Please stand. Plastic Free July is an individual action campaign that is changing the dialogue on personal plastic consumption and has the power to ignite a culture shift, preventing plastic waste from reaching our streets, oceans, and communities. The unique month-long challenge empowers people to act and share positive stories about solutions. This movement, mobilizing millions of people, started with only 40 individuals. Wow. Our next finalist comes to us all the way from Ecuador. Survivors Say No More. Survivors Say No More is empowering sexual abuse survivors in Ecuador to become super survivors, to realize their potential as change agents. The campaign has reached 11 million Ecuadorians and has inspired hundreds of thousands of survivors to speak up, putting the issue in the public arena and generating a domino effect that uncovered thousands of cases of sexual abuse that were hidden in impunity. Now let's welcome some very special guests from our judging panel here to announce the winner. The first one has actually been here with us before. Please welcome the 2019 Mobilize Award winner, founder of Follow the Money and Chief Executive of Connected Development, Hamzat Lawal. Hello, my friend.
Hi. Hi, thank you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome back. It's so fantastic to have you here.
It's really exciting to be back.
I mean, I'm excited too, and this is my first time in Germany.
Oh, wow.
Hamzi, I'm so happy you're here because you know about this. You are someone who has won this recognition in the past and has continued to mobilize for action. Tell me, how did this start for you?
In 2010, there was lead poisoning in Zamfara State, northern Nigeria. At that time, over 400 children had reportedly dead. In 2012, I was struggling to get information on how our government responded to that emergency. So I took a risky journey for over 20 hours, accessing this community. One, on the ground, I found out that over 700 children had died, so it was underreported. 2, 1,500 children were very sick and at the verge of losing their life. And finally, all the billions of dollars that government had released 2 years before that time never got to these communities. With my mobile phone and with permission from the community members, I documented the voices of grandmothers who have lost over 7 children in their household. I spoke to women who have lost 2 kids. And coming back to Abuja and launching a campaign on Twitter with the hashtag Save Bagega. So from Twitter, it went from CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, DW, VOA, and the international communities added their voice to Save Bagega campaign. And in less than 72 hours, Nigerian president released a sum of $5.3 million. And that was how Follow the Money started. using data on the ground to inform policy and decision making. So today we're in 10 African countries with over 10,000 active volunteers using data, collecting voices and amplifying these voices to inform what our government is doing with public resources.
Wow. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, as you were speaking, I couldn't think that, although it is true that not all of us are called to risk everything, as people of conscience, each of us is called to risk something. Bravery and strength are not reserved for the chosen few. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now let me introduce someone from the UN who is also giving voice and providing a platform to the most vulnerable countries. Next year, there will be a critical convening, putting the least developed countries at the center of the political agenda. Leading the charge is Director Heidi Fox. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to see you again. Now, for much of your career, you've worked on political negotiations at setting ambitious development goals. How can individuals mobilize to demand accountability and deliver on commitments?
Thank you, Tolu, for that question. But let me just say first, wow, really, you inspire us every day, and I wish every one of you the best of luck. You have done fantastic. You are all winners. So the question, throughout my career, I've had a lot of opportunities to witness where action at grassroots levels has moved into real change in government. The first one, perhaps, in my career was the landmine action that led for my country to change military policy and join the Ottawa Convention. But there are, I think, right here, the SDGs, that is a fantastic example of what can be done. So much action, activity went into pressuring and making sure that the governments, the UN, really could agree on these very transformative goals and targets. And it would not have happened without that kind of action. But the global action is one thing, but unless there's action on the ground, at the grassroots, there is no real change. So the grassroots actors are absolutely important. And I would like to there's something called Shifting the Power, which is an NGO working on the Pacific Islands. And their mandate or their work is to bring women and people with disabilities into their communities' decision-making processes on disaster risk reduction. They are doing a fantastic job in changing the policies in these small Pacific islands. So action at all levels is needed. And in my current work as the director of this office at the UN in New York, we advocate and mobilize resources for the 91 most vulnerable countries. And these are the countries that need us really to push their agenda, to amplify their voices. So I am really inviting all of you to stand up for the 1 billion people who live in these countries and who need our help. And a great opportunity will be at Doha, at this LDC5 conference, where I'm inviting all of you to come and let's work together, let's push, and let's amplify the voices of those 1 billion people. Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Well, come over here with me. We're going to crack this thing open. Shall we find out who the winner is? I will hold that for you. Here you go. It's an exciting moment here. All right, go ahead. You got this. I think we're ready. I think we're more than ready. Okay.
What a great moment. In the category Mobilize, the winner is Survivors Say No More Ecuador.
grab a photo with them and then you, yeah. Amazing. Come here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Who would think a couple of Ecuadorian who were victims of sexual abuse in the room with the blackboard plan to change the world? You know, it looked so crazy. I told two things to my husband. First, I don't know why, but this is not just Ecuador. And the second thing, if we can save one, just one. And I was really afraid, you know. That's what helped me to change, because I said, what if your mother dies? You know, we're victim of incest, so we were gonna tell the whole country the truth. What if nobody hires us? Can you imagine the stigma? And he's so brave, he told me, it doesn't matter, this is beyond you and me. This must be done. So since then, we have made a huge change. So I thank you, all this amazing team of SDG Action Awards. I've been in touch with you. You are brilliant, brilliant. You have made us feel loved, accepted, and you believed in us. And to everyone who's watching me outside, you see one people, but millions of survivors all around the world need you to change the script. When I say I was victim of a sexual abuse, people see me as poor, hopeless, or poor, but I'm really strong. Resilient, creative. So, yes, it's true. You have to believe survivors, but go beyond. Believe in survivors. Not only to people who can tell you about their stories or maybe be a source for an interview, like politicians, presidents, people who are able to change the world. And one more thing. The world we're living right now, who isn't a survivor? Tell me. For each of those goals, is a survivor. So we need an army. Right now, we need an army to change the world. So in all your projects, communities, cities, in everything you do, when you have victims and survivors, give them support, social resources, psychosocial resources, but the most important thing, give them the possibility to look into your eyes as equal. Believe in them as change maker, game changers. Please, let's all flip the script. You know, let me say this in Spanish because I am the only Latina. So I really love that you clap because all Latinas like to dance. But para los ecuatorianos y los latinoamericanos, somos capaces de cambiar el mundo. Crean en ustedes.
Thank you. Incredible, incredible. Thank you. Congratulations, and thank you for that powerful message. Our judges were deeply impressed and commended this award-worthy initiative for being the very definition of a mobilization campaign. Paula and Ricardo, you are SDG heroes. Thank you. We are meeting tonight following a week of SDG action all across the globe. To share more, it is my pleasure to welcome my dear friend and director of the UN SDG Action Campaign, Marina Ponti.
Thank you. Thank you, Tolu. And welcome and thank you, everyone. What an amazing crowd tonight, here in Bonn and watching from all corners of the globe. I'm so happy to see so many people coming together for the Sustainable Development Goals, especially now when we face so many challenges, individually and collectively. But more than happy, being with you today also gives me hope. It gives me inspiration and the courage to flip the script and rewrite the story so that our world finally works for all people and not just a few, and for our shared planet. Following the wrong script led us to more war, to more injustice, and more climate devastation. We see around us more people who are frustrated, hungry, and struggling to make ends meet. As we face these daunting problems, it is tempting to turn inward, to seek shelter from the storm, but that will only make the storm fiercer and more destructive. And for us, here in this room and watching from home, retreat is not an option. We must step forward, not back, to flip the script and make our societies more just, sustainable, and peaceful. These three words, peace, justice, and climate action, were at the core of the Global Week to Act for the SDG that has mobilized last week over 130 million action in 190 countries. And the numbers are still coming in on our global map. This was the biggest mobilization for the SDG ever achieved. And thanks to many people in this room and many people watching from home. We saw action urging to end fossil fuel subsidies, deforestation, and wanton destruction of biodiversity. You champion energy that is secure, clean, and available to all. You shone an unflinching light on inequality and push for universal health coverage, social protection floor, fair policies on debt and taxation, and gender equality. You issued a clarion call to stop war and militarism, among the worst impediment to SDG and human rights. This is what the Global Week to Act for the SDG is all about. As individuals, you are a proof that people care about their future and are already writing a new script, flipping fear into hope, division into unity, extinction into survival, apathy into action, war into peace. Let's take a moment to celebrate some of the highlights of the past week.
Per mostrare al mondo quanto abbiamo bisogno di azioni urgenti per il clima, per la giustizia, per la pace, il potere è nelle nostre mani. È il momento, è adesso!
Wow. Now, let's come back to another very important celebration, to the award finalists, people who are showing that change is possible. Their incredible ideas and actions are our lifelines. Lifelines that stretch around the world and across border. You are mobilizing, you are inspiring, and connecting people, pulling to rescue the SDGs. We receive, it was said by Tolu, over 3,000 applications from 150 countries, making it so difficult to narrow down to these finalists that are here today. Seeing such an overwhelming response is evidence that people are not sheltering from the storm. On the contrary, they're part of collective efforts that every day confront the challenges and flip the script. Changemakers have come from all walks of life. They're flipping the script on climate, technology, innovation, accessibility, education, gender empowerment, health, peace building, and so much more. We have just unveiled the first winner, and we are honored to unveil the other very soon. But before we do, I want to remind all of you that just being here in this room or watching from home, you are also a lifeline. Our dreams and imagination, our solution and choices add up. We will rescue the SDG and set the world on the right course. Thank you.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. It is such a pleasure to hear you talk about everything that the campaign has been doing and the incredible work that everyone is doing. Thank you so much for that. Now, our next guest understands the power we each have to make our voices heard. Please welcome climate justice activists working with the most affected people and areas, the formidable Janelle Tan. Mitzi, come on over. Hi, Mitzi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Now, Mitzi, I have to say, you convene, you advocate, you speak truth to power with a firm conviction of changing the system. With COP27 just around the corner, how can each of us play a role in rewriting the future?
Over the past few days, I've had the immense privilege to spend a lot of time with the finalists. And these are people who are doing concrete action towards building a better world. And one of the questions asked to me is, how do we rewrite that future? But first, we need to imagine it. We need to know how it feels like, how it sounds like, how it tastes like. So I want everyone to take this moment to remember their happiest moment where they felt safe, where they weren't afraid, where they weren't worried about anything. That is what climate justice is like for everyone. A world where no one has to be afraid. A world where no one has to feel anxious about the climate, about poverty, about any of the sustainable development goals that we're trying to achieve. And then once you know what you're building towards, I want everyone to fight for it. To really do every single thing that you can to achieve that goal, not just for yourself or your family or your friends, but for every single person on this planet. That is what we're doing here today. I'd like to think that the world leaders have a lot to learn from our finalists and from the people here in this room, because there's actual action happening here. With COP27 coming up, all we've heard are empty promises and words. Just 2 days ago, the Philippines was hit by yet another super typhoon. And our president, despite saying climate change is important in all his speeches so far, said that this typhoon was not actually caused or influenced by climate change at all. We've seen how in 2009, Global North leaders promised $100 billion in climate finance. And until today, that has still not happened. Germany is still creating new gas infrastructures and supporting new gas fields in other countries. That is not the climate justice world that we're building. That is not the climate justice world that these countries and these world leaders are promising us. If we want to flip the script, we must each join the fight. We have to empower ourselves with knowledge and find a community and speak truth to power. Challenge the systems at hand. Stand in solidarity with every single country and community fighting for their liberation, especially from colonizers, settler colonizers, and neo-colonizers. We have to understand that flipping the script means changing the system that we have from one that prioritizes profit over people and planet to one that prioritizes the well-being of everyone's lives. And we can only do that together through collective action. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitzi. Wow. What a powerful, powerful message. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Now, throughout tonight's program, you've heard Mitzi, another of our guests, make reference to flipping the script. What we are talking about are the many methods and means to make our voices heard, to get people to stop and think about the role they are playing. Code Green, World of Women, and the UN SDG Action Campaign have created a first-of-its-kind digital art exhibition and campaign around the SDGs. Up next, we have a very special guest who advocates through art, music, and different mediums. Ina Moja, the co-founder and CEO of Code Green. She is also an artist, photographer, musician, and one of the initiators of the initiatives. Ina, you're welcome.
Having me. It's such an honor to be here. We partnered with UN SDG Action Campaign to create an exhibition with artists raising their voices for different SDGs. And it's actually a message of love and empowerment to people. And to me, being part of this is showing everybody that we can do something, that our voices count, and each voice represents something powerful. And it has been a true honor to have been part of the curation team that set up this exhibition. If you have been traveling recently, you might have come across this exhibition in airports, because we believe that airports are a place where we wait for a long time. And also, it's not usually the places where you see art. And so we wanted to bring this into spaces to go and meet people and have them think about what's happening around climate, how they can be part of it, how they can see and support new artists that they wouldn't even come across. And also, the majority of these artworks have been minted on the blockchain in a sustainable way. And so, yes, this is a piece that I've created about hope, and because to me it is one of the most powerful things. And art can do that. Art can reach people's heart. Art can make you, I said heart, but it's art. It is the same. It can really bring out the powerful messages that we try to share in a different manner. By screening the QR code, you can come across the list of the different artists and see their artwork. Share it if you'd like to. Be part of the communities of artists on the blockchain, and also communities of digital communities who are trying to make an impact and make a change. Each of these artists, it was very, very important for them to be part of this, to share their support to one of the SDGs. So now, welcome Isa, who has the kindness to play with me tonight for you. The song that I'm going to be doing, it's a song that I wrote a few years ago. It's about something that is really, really important, that we couldn't live without. It's about water. For many of us today, it is as easy as to open the tap to have access to clean water. But for millions of people, it is not. And water is life. Nobody could live without water. And today, in 2022, the fact that still millions of people don't have access to it. And women and girls are the most vulnerable ones. It's crazy. So I wrote this song called Water.
I used to walk 100 miles to get water for my people. Used to walk 100 miles to get water, to get water. I used to walk 100 miles to get water for my people. Used to walk 100 miles to get water, to get water. Ubitamala dongodo kata jide nyini sunguru niu kamle niu beki bremata di doni anga mansa udelila dugu tegu komana robne ulairutara nga hali sini ube kolonji de solila nama hine anga mohola ube segen ube nyanina uha kebe baula now you talk on na filila. I used to walk 100 miles to get water for my people. Used to walk 100 miles to get water, to get water. Ube barala klekoro washijibe jigi miniji tobliji halikoliji tubolo angamu so negena. Mamso kashira fa cheo hamina gahali sini ube kolonji de solila namahine anga morola ube segen ube nyanina uha kebe baula now you talk on na filila. Used to walk 100 miles to get water for my people. Used to walk 100 miles to get water, to get water. I used to walk 100 miles to get water for my people. Used to walk 100 miles to get water, to get water. Used to walk 100 miles to get water for my people. Used to walk 100 miles to get water, to get water. I used to walk 100 miles to get water for my people. Used to walk 100 miles to get water, to get water. In 2022, it is unacceptable that women and kids are walking miles to go and get water instead of getting education, instead of working and being financially independent. Our future generation, future leaders shouldn't be out there doing that. And we have to know that this is a life or death question. Water is life. If we spend just 2 days without water, we couldn't survive. So, my message to the world leaders: give the basic human rights to everybody. Start with that. And we can build from that. Because before then, this world is broken. Thank you so much. Isa. Thank you.
Wow, what an incredibly powerful message. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you. Wow, that was, whew. Who else is feeling inspired over here? Anybody? Okay, come on now. After that incredibleness, I want the energy. Okay, now for those of you at home, I hope you're also feeling inspired. I'm not leaving you out of this conversation here. Don't forget to tweet and share some pictures of your watch parties with us. Hit us up at STG Action, and remember to use the hashtag STG Awards. Are you ready for more winners? Up next, we have the Inspire Award category. Here we will recognize shining examples of initiatives shifting policy and behavior through creativity and inspiring campaigns. Once again, we have 2 finalists in this category. Each one has demonstrated innovative approaches to inspiring action. First up from the Philippines, we have Masungi Story. Please stand. This team is transforming watersheds to fight deforestation through geotourism, and has shown that a small group of young people, through their courage, creativity, and energy, can form coalitions, bring about transformational change for a nation. They are flipping the script by showing that tourism does not have to impact our environment negatively. It could actually also be a powerful force for good. Thank you. And from the UK, we have our broken planet, how we got here and ways to fix it. Please stand. This future focus exhibition that has shifted perceptions while balancing education and hope at the Natural History Museum in London. Our Broken Planet has been an opportunity for the museum's audiences to hear directly from scientists on the state of the planet, as well as creative and inspiring and surprising, actually, solutions pioneered around the world. Thank you. Okay, I know you've all been staring at this envelope that I've been waving around and just waiting, so I will stop waving it around and get us going. Joining us to announce the winner, it is my pleasure to invite up to the stage Global CEO of Fair Trade International, Sandra Uara. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Amazing. Well, your organization the organization that you lead has pioneered in shifting behavior and moving the needle on consumption and creating a demand for products that respect the environment and the rights of people. What is key to inspiring millions of people to shift behavior?
It's important to realize that Fair Trade International represents over 1.95 million producers in 26 markets, and actually works with 1,880 producer organizations in Africa, Latin America, and North Asia and Pacific. This means that as customers who are actually consuming our products on the various retail shelves across Europe, you're directly contributing to the livelihoods, social justice, economic awareness, and also helping producers to have an independent choice and voice on what pricing looks like and what their products should look like when going to international markets. It's important to realize that we inspire responsible business practices, responsible citizenship, and we encourage everyday people to look at the products that they're putting on their plates as products that are coming from hard-working producers who are also expecting to live equitable and strengthened livelihoods, even in the South, in the markets that I've highlighted. So fair trade is everybody's business. And I'm hoping that as I leave this stage, we would also be able to inspire those people out there to continue to buy fair trade products, because you are directly contributing to the lives of 1.95 million producers across the world.
Wow, thank you for that. Fair trade is everybody's business. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love that. Now I'm going to trade you that microphone for this shiny envelope. Shall we find out who the winner is? All right.
So the winner for the Inspire Award is the Masungi story.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much to the United Nations and the UN SDG Action Awards for giving us this incredible honor of bringing us here in Germany and for giving us this award. You don't know how much this means to us at such a critical time when our work continues to be undermined and under-supported in our home country. I would like to dedicate this award first and foremost to our rangers and our team who are getting their hands and feet dirty to defend our remaining forests. I would also like to dedicate this award to our partners, our past visitors, our allies in and outside of government, and our entire community for helping us get this far. After 6 years of ups and downs, they have made us resilient and they have picked us up when we fell down. Finally, we would also like to dedicate this award to our opponents, to the quarrying companies and the land grabbers, their enablers in government, to the people who have said that we are dreaming too big, that this is the way things have always been, and that we are pushing too far. This is for you. This is a reminder that we will not stop, that we will win in the end with our energy and creativity. I think my sister Anne would agree with me to say that we are not only representing Masungi, we are representing all Filipinos who suffer the most from the climate crisis. And we are representing all environment defenders who are risking their lives for our shared future. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, and congratulations. Amazing. Thank you for that powerful, powerful message. Thank you. Our judges commended this youth-led movement for being bold enough to participate in national legislative inquiries and direct lobbying. They commended the team for going above and beyond through their engagement with the general public and the creativity of their storytelling. Thank you and congratulations. Thank you. And thank you, Sandra. Thank you. All right, our next award category is Connect. These initiatives connect diverse partners, bridging the gap between citizens and institutions to increase the progress on the SDGs. We have 2 finalists in this category, each of which has demonstrated transformational approach to connecting people to people or people to policy processes to drive meaningful change. Representing a truly international network, Youngo. Where is our representative for Youngo? Please stand. Youngo is a global youth network created as a dedicated constituency to address global goals related to climate and the environment. It is entirely run by volunteers and young adults who together represent a generation of champions across climate, energy, ocean, and nature spaces. And from Cyprus, we have Cyprus Inno. Please stand. This is the first innovation center in the last divided capital. The video. Thank you. Virtual. Look at that. The power of a hybrid community. Cyprus Inno couldn't be here today, but Stephen is here. I love it. Thank you. Hi, Stephen. Cyprus Inno is an initiative which fosters peace building through youth innovation. They demonstrate that even the most complex, global, and long-standing challenges can be resolved through peaceful and innovative means. The center is one of the first innovation spaces in the world located in a demilitarized zone, one where Greek and Turkish Cypriots from the last divided capital in Europe come together every day to work and break barriers. Now, I have to say, several of our judges know a thing or two about forging these critical connections, sharing a video message with us to help introduce this award category. I am delighted to introduce the Director General from the Qatar Fund for Development, His Excellency Khalifa Jassim Al-Kuwari.
Distinguished guests, dear friends, colleagues, and fellow judges, it has been an honor to serve as a judge for the UN SDG Action Award for the second year running. I have enjoyed reviewing the extraordinary initiatives that we are celebrating tonight. The creativity and commitment are a testament to how much people can accomplish through solidarity and passion for a better future. It reminds us that coming together offers our only chance at solving domestic and global challenges, a principle at the heart of the Qatar Fund for Development. With diverse partners around the globe, we help communities become resilient to the risk that faces them and make lasting gains through better health, education, employment, climate, and more. Qatar Fund for Development, therefore, is proud to support the UN SDG Action Campaign, engaging people across generations and geographics to bring forward many possibilities for changes, despite the challenges facing them. This gives us all hope because it is about not just aspiration, but concrete demonstration of how we can flip division into unity and apathy into action. We are close to the SDG midpoint and preparing for the next Global Climate Conference and the Summit of the Least Developed Countries hosted by the State of Qatar early 2023. It is time to imagine and act to achieve a different script like all of us here today. I thank you all for what you do.
Thank you, Your Excellency. All right, I've got another one. To help us announce the winner, please welcome the Honorable Deputy Minister of Information and Communication Technology in Namibia, Emma Theophilus. Welcome. Thank you for being here. How are you feeling?
Good. So much inspiration, so much energy. It's nice.
We're so thrilled that you're here. Now, this category recognizes achievements in playing critical roles in connections, right? When you were elected, you know what I'm about to say, don't you? when you were elected, you're the youngest minister in Africa. Yes. That is incredible. Yes. I mean, wow. Give it up for that. Now, as the IT and communication minister, your mandate is about connecting people, but you're also uniquely positioned to connect generations, right? What is the most important thing when it comes to connecting people?
Well, I think the first thing will be trust. People need to trust one another. And then, of course, another would be partnerships for collaboration. Across sectors, across age, barriers, biases, institutions in private, public, there needs to be partnerships for collaboration. Otherwise, we sit in our own corners, in our own perceptions, and don't work together. So trust and partnerships for collaboration.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. All right, I know you're all eager. I know you're all waiting. I see all the cameras out. I know those at home are very eager as well, so I will stop talking and hand this envelope over. Trade me, please. Thank you. Let's find out the winner. The drum roll is coming. Come on, guys, let's give it a drum roll.
And the winner is Cyprus Ino.
Let's go live to Stephen.
Thank you so much. Wow. Good evening, everyone. Apologies for not being able to be with you, but I'm thrilled to be here virtually. And just on behalf of our entire Cyprus Ino team, I'd like to sincerely thank everyone at the SDG Action Campaign and all the beautiful folks behind this wonderful work and these awards for this great honor. This award means a lot to us because it's another example of the great things we can achieve when we work together. When we reach out across a divide like ours here in Cyprus and join forces for a greater good. Cyprus Ino is the result of young people coming together across a divide to put differences and divisions aside to create something for their future. And again, it's amazing what we can achieve when we work together. When we witness hundreds, even thousands of Cypriots from around our island gather in this buffer zone of ours between our communities, in the spirit of collaboration. It's not just about the context of where we are in this dead zone, reminded of this division around us, but rather who we're with and who we're surrounded by. Cypriots, people of various backgrounds, putting differences and divisions together and coming together on common ground to solve common challenges with a shared vision for a better future. Emma just mentioned this in her remarks, trust and collaboration, and that's exactly what fuels our work, and it's the core of what we do. And on top of that, we're really inspired by the work of those around us, those from countries that might be far away, but who feel right next to us in the obstacles they must overcome and the ambition they exhibit and the passion they feel for their change-making work. Those especially who have been amongst us, the finalists here today, I and our team were inspired by you to keep going and growing, and that's exactly what we'll do. So thank you again, everyone. Thank you.
Wow. Congratulations, Stevens. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Now, can I please ask Marina to come up and accept the award on behalf of the team? Uh-oh. You didn't see that. Stop it.
Okay.
Come on over.
So I will, Stephen, I'm accepting this award on your behalf, and we'll have it, send it to you as soon as possible. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Congrats, everyone.
Congratulations again. Our judges commended this initiative for demonstrating the power of ideas to alter the course of progress and sustainability as we know it, and noted the power of this approach to be replicated in other countries and regions. Thank you, Marina, and thank you, Minister, for joining us. Thank you for accepting the award. All right, there's another one. It is time for our final award of the evening. Here we shine a spotlight on changemakers, those whose actions have had an extraordinary impact in creating a multiplying effect to turn and in turn empowering others. We are shaking things up a bit here. We have 3 finalists in this category. As I tell you a bit about each, I'd ask for the finalists to please stand. First up is Bernard Faustino Eldai. Under his transformative leadership as mayor and through innovative governance, Bernard led Kauai City into the limelight as the premier smartest city in the Philippines. With his extraordinary accomplishments as an advocate for the SDG, he changed the political landscape by proving how collaborative governance can improve people's lives. Next, we have Shristi Bakshi. I love it when there's a friend there to take the photo from all the way. Good job, good job, good job. She is a marketer turned women's rights activist who embarked on a 3,800-kilometer pilgrimage over 240 days across India. She met with over 100,000 people to hear their stories of gender-based violence and inequality. After her epic on-foot journey, she created a documentary film revealing untold stories of courage, women of my billion, taking their stories to the world. Last but certainly not least, we have Aya Cheve. Aya, stand up. Aya is a multi-award-winning Pan-African feminist. She rose to prominence as a voice for democracy and shot to global fame as a political blogger through the Tunisian Revolution. She served as the first ever African Union Special Envoy on Youth and the youngest diplomat at the African Union Commission Chairperson's Cabinet. Over the span of the past decade, she has played a pivotal role in transforming the youth participation space in Africa. Now, to help me recognize these incredible individuals, I am delighted to be joined by a trailblazing advocate for young people's health, safety, and development. Please welcome Natasha Wamsa, founder and executive director of the Natasha Wamsa Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I am excited and exhilarated. Congratulations to all the winners thus far. It's really wonderful to be here.
Thank you. We are so thrilled that you could be here with us, and thank you for being a judge on this. We're so grateful. You know, quite often we feel like the challenges at the heart of the 2030 agenda are too big for one person to take on. How can an individual make a difference and empower others to do the same?
Firstly, we have to realize that it's true. They are too big to take on. And that is why each and every one of us must see these awards as a reminder that this is not a competition. It's collaboration. Each and every one of us has got a role that they have to play. I am from Zambia, for instance. I have a role to play in Zambia. I won't come and play it in Germany. But we have Germans who will do their part here. And that is how we make the world a better place. So even as we look at these issues, and just to touch on flipping the script, I personally think there is nothing wrong with the script because we all know what this world means like and what it looks like being a better place. But what we need to look into is what each and every actor who is playing out this script is doing. So you have to look at yourself and say, okay, I have a role to play. What is my role? And then do it. And in doing so, you will inspire generations to come because every action, you being here, there are people watching you. There are 21-year-olds, 2-year-olds that are saying, saying, I want to be like Saprasino or Aya Chebi. And that is all that we need to inspire action. Do your part. Be a voice, a light, and a solution, and go and shine this path, because each and every one of us has a role to play. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, it's time to find out the winner. Trade you? Here you go.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
Okay, and the winner for the Change Maker category is Shrishti Bakshi.
Wow. Congratulations, congratulations. Here you go.
Good evening, everybody. In 2016, I came across a news article about a 13-year-old and her mother. They were gang raped on a highway in front of the father. It just broke me inside. It broke my world. It happened 40 minutes from where I live. And I was reminded of all the time of my childhood and young years when I faced violence in my country. This violence exists everywhere. 1 in every 3 girls face this violence. So if there is a woman sitting next to you, it could be her. I know. In front of me, 2 are Aya and Paola. These stories are important to be heard, and not only heard, but you have to support, you have to build a support structure for all women. Because someone in one of our sessions said that there is no country in the world which is gender equal. It is 2022. We deserve an equal space. We deserve a safe space. This award, I'm receiving this on behalf of all the women of my billion across the whole world who have suffered in silence. But no more. No more. Thank you, my wonderful documentary team, my sister who stood with me all throughout, Apurva Bakshi, my father who walked with me across the country. Thank you.
Congratulations, darling. Congratulations. 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 Absolutely incredible. Our judges were quite simply in awe of her story, sharing that her work is a shining example of the change that can be created through bold and determined action. Huge congratulations to you, and a huge congratulations to all of our winners and finalists. Okay. Well, the action certainly does not stop here. We are joined by an international award-winning performing artist and human rights activist for a special performance. Katleho, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a joy to be here. First of all, I know I'm not supposed to give a speech, so I shan't. But I will say congratulations to every single one of you for not only believing in change, but choosing to do what the title of this poem is. My name is Katleho Kai Kolangeni Kusupile, and this poem is titled Forgetting Impossible. Knowingly, you said, could you make me pretty? And I, without the courtesy of a pause or even beyond the pinching, the pushing or the pulsing of my heart, flung back, perhaps too sharply for your hearing or your burning core, that you needn't beg for things you already possess. That, of course, wasn't me speaking. My grandmother sat on my tongue and slid like a toddler down a water slide to a great big splash that declared that you needn't be deluded into thinking that you require permission to find, to see, to hear, to touch, to taste, to orate something about feeling. Something about feeling beyond the temporality of your beauty, your worth reduced like some experiment. When you pulsed and I heard, "Could you make me pretty?" I sought the sommelier's nose and the Mwaipe's palate, the blacksmith's keen eye, the weaver's deft hands, or the peregrine's ignorance of acrophobia, where memory sits pampered, pirouetting, unbothered. I think, imagine this. Were we on an isle sandwiched between oceans, you would be met with applause as the all-encompassing azul flickered like fireflies do in the deepest of obsidian nights, unbothered, unpolluted, and serene. Reminded that a day had come when one and one and one and one and one became enough. The chants grew from a syncopated thrum when babes too new to learn to chew on bone were learning the weighty lifting of naming the hurt against negligence. While storming the chambers of echoes where musty stalwarts don the posture of historians, biding time and hogging space against wisdom. Yet 1,000 thousands and 1,000 more of those still rose to match the math, and billionfold. Each nudge, 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 push, inched out the walled margins to the beginning of time before there was any fear. No fear to roar from the heart, to roar for the heart. From the pot-bellied screams saying, "Shame, shame, shame, change, 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 shame." Reverberating in a show and tell for the sake of our lives. Smart, you say. But what am I if not that which you are? As the sun drapes across our backs, as we sow the seeds, knowing that maybe today, or in 80 years to come, we will know that Boto says Matlo, Hoshamabapi. And neighbor, I am your mattress as you sleep, as you are my furnace when the winter chills course through my entirety. The knowing is just and is passed on and on and on and on. And as the mud dries on the floor where we made the pots for curing, we're reminded that to lean is not to fall. The knowing is just and passed on and on and on. And neighbor, what is for me is for you too. Should the Cebu cinnamon or the kalingag or the round leaf fountain palm chant, Bayanihan, we would chant too. Because neighbor, what is for me is for you. True. If you would dare, flip the script. It'll feel as though the Black Sea has never brushed against the footsteps of your great-great-great-grandparents' palace of joy. But know this, it has not always been a battle all the time. The sunflower still bows and rises, and thus is our mission. Not mildew, not rust, shall it cause a ghostly mold to envelop our will. No más. No más y nunca más. And I will walk a quintillion steps and sing notes tenfold until you believe and understand that you needn't ask for things you already possess. I cannot make you pretty. But what I can do is awaken you to all the others like me, lifting the veil against the possibility of change. For neighbor, what is for you is for me true. Thank you.
Wow. Amazing, 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 amazing. Wow. Thank you so much for that. What an inspiring piece. Thank you, thank you. We are nearing the end of our time together, but before we say goodbye, we have another guest sharing a video message from Berlin. Please join me in welcoming State Secretary and Special Envoy for International Climate Action at the Federal Foreign Office here in Germany, Jennifer Morgan.
Distinguished guests, dear friends, colleagues, and fellow judges, it is an honor to be with you tonight at the closing of this UN SDG Action Awards ceremony. Together in Bonn and globally, we are celebrating hope and opportunities for a brighter future. We do this at a moment when our societies and planet hang in the balance, with the climate crisis, with the Russian aggression against Ukraine that also affects food and energy prices globally, and with other crises that shake our world. Therefore, we must fight back, and fight back together. It is crucial to have a positive approach to global sustainability. This makes our event so special because it really lifts our spirits, and we certainly all need that these days. For when we do flip the script, we open our eyes and see what is actually possible. And we all know that inspiration is the way to action. The climate crisis is happening fast. Acting now to slow it will be the only way to survive and save our planet. Unfortunately, some people across the world are not pivoting quickly enough. Some are even stuck in the same old scripts, overlooking or even denying the existential threat. We must flip to a script where the climate crisis won't end humanity. Because I am personally fighting for this, and I'm sure we can do this together. Humanity will end the climate crisis. Proof of how this can happen, well, it's in all of the people here today. Your actions are already leading towards a more sustainable, inclusive, peaceful world. And we need many more of you and the changes you make. That is why I am so honored to be a member of the judging panel of the SDG Action Awards and proud of the German government's support for this ceremony. By celebrating heroes and heroines who are turning apathy into action and fear into hope, others will step up and do the same. We can reimagine our world in a sustainable way for all people across our planet. But we cannot wait to make these key new choices and decisions. The clock is ticking. The time is now.
Wow. Danke schön. Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Now it is my pleasure to invite back Marina Ponti to the stage for our closing remarks. Welcome back. We've missed you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tolu. Thank you for the fantastic energy tonight. There have been so many incredible speakers in person, virtually, and I'm so grateful to all of you for what you brought to this space. There are so many things that I would like to share, but I just want to be very brief, and I just want to share my two main takeaways. The first, courage. This is the first global event we organized since the SDG Global Festival of Action in 2019. It has been so rewarding hosting the finalists, the judges, the artists, to hear their stories and their struggles. This has given us the inspiration to continue to believe that we can make the impossible possible and build together a more inclusive, peaceful, and sustainable tomorrow. It is you here in this room and those watching from home that give us the courage to end and rewrite the narrative, the rules of our systems, the future for our children. And the second takeaway is about creativity and change. Tonight we've listened to incredible champions, change makers and leaders from across sector and geography who share evidence, data and vision for the future. This has opened our minds. But tonight we are also being surrounded by art, creativity, music that has touched our hearts and our emotions. And we firmly believe that sustainable change is only possible when minds and heart are connected. Art and creativity unite us where the world divides us. So thank you to the artists and the performer here in the room and those all around the world using the universal language of art to connect people. Now, it is a real privilege to thank all of you who made tonight possible. Deutsche Telekom, thank you for hosting us so enthusiastically. Thank you, Melanie, and thank you, your amazing teams. We work so hard on this. Really, thank you. It's a beautiful and special venue. Thank you to the city of Bonn. I don't know where Stephen is sitting, for being a great partner and for leveraging every opportunity to engage your citizens on the SDGs. And let me also acknowledge in the audience some of Bonn's partner cities from all different continents. Thank you. A big thank you to the German government for hosting us here in Bonn and supporting our mission and our work. A special recognition goes to BMZ, and thank you, Gabriele, for being here and for BMZ support to the campaign and to our mobilization. And also a special thanks to the Foreign Office. Yes, anche. For supporting this event and for being a great partner over the years. And thanks also to our new donors who are allowing us to increase the scope of our work. Thank you to the Italian government, to the Qatar Fund for Development, Canon, and the BMW Foundation. Then thank you to UNDP and to the UN system for helping us to connect the dots and for amplifying our activation and our effort all across the world. Thank you, Ulrike and Heidi, for travel from New York to be here. We really appreciated that. And a special recognition also to UN Bonn, our neighbors, particularly UNV, UNCCC, and UNCCD. Let me also recognize in the audience a group of civil society leaders from the Global South who have come to Bonn to strategize on next international milestone. And let me also acknowledge in the audience UNFCCC, UNCCC, who brought here tonight their youth leaders from all over the world who are preparing for the upcoming COP27. And now, a huge thanks to our incredible judges. 29 leaders from across sectors and geography who accept all of them with great enthusiasm our invitation and conducted the review with commitment and passion. And some of the judges you saw on stage, some are in the audience, and some you heard from the videos. And thank you to the speakers who traveled to Bonn and those who connected virtually. And thanks also to the creative partners, Code Green, you saw the amazing exhibition, The World of Women. And thanks you to the performers for bringing your creativity and touching our hearts. And thank you to all the finalists and winners. As I said to you when I met you on Sunday, you are all the winners for me. And thank you for what you do every day. You are the change, and you are bringing the change in your community and inspiring others to do the same. A few more. Thank you. A huge thanks to Sign TV, to Minnie and Lucy for making this event more inclusive and accessible, and also for bringing the content to your impressive network. And thanks now to all the people who have been working behind the scene, UN Web TV for the broadcast around the world, and a huge thanks to the incredible production team at Kuchen. Thanks all of you who've joined here in person and at home from all across the globe. And thank you, Tolu, for being an amazing master of ceremony and for bringing all this content together with professionalism and passion. And now, last but perhaps most important, let me thank my team. Please, could you stand? I want everybody to see you, including the wonderful interns. You are also change makers. Without your passion, your risk-taking, your perseverance, none of this would have been possible. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much, Marina. It has been an honor to be with you. My heart is full, my mind is open and ready to work. I am so thrilled at the opportunity to be here with all of you. And now I would like to invite our finalists, all of our finalists, up on stage for a group photo for this year's class of 2022. Come on up. There you go.
Take the script.
Amazing, amazing. Well, you guys look incredibly, just fantastic. I love everything I'm seeing over here. Everybody, that is all, folks. Thank you for joining us tonight in person and from around the world. The message is clear. The power is in each of our hands to flip the script and change the story. I hope you are as inspired as I am. Thank you to all of you online. Thank you and thank you. Good night here from Bonn. Thank you. Are we done? All right, don't leave yet.
Bienvenidos a uno de esos vídeos que por lo menos una vez al año es importante hacer. Hoy nos vamos a enfrentar a uno de los portátiles más potentes para videojuegos que la humanidad ha podido crear. Hoy veremos lo más avanzado que hemos conseguido hasta la fecha y también hablaremos de qué tan bueno es respecto a un PC normal y por qué. Porque los portátiles gaming siempre han sido muy criticados y muchas veces con razón, también hay que decirlo, Pero también hay que decir que cada vez son mejores y es interesante estar al día de cómo va evolucionando este tipo de tecnología. Para esta prueba y demostración me lo he pensado bastante porque al final el hardware de los portátiles, el que realmente hace el trabajo, pues principalmente lo hacen tres empresas, que son Intel, Nvidia y AMD. Y bueno, ahora también Apple. Pero luego hay decenas de marcas de fabricantes que construyen el portátil en sí, ¿no? La refrigeración, el teclado, monitor, y no fue nada fácil elegir cuál iba a ser el portátil que íbamos a usar como sujeto de pruebas, pero bueno, después de darle muchas vueltas me quedé con el nuevo Razer Blade de 17 pulgadas. Y a lo largo de este vídeo iréis entendiendo el porqué. Así que sin más dilación, vamos dentro con un mensaje de nuestro sponsor. Altium es un sistema de diseño de PCBs que permite a los ingenieros conectar cada fase del diseño de productos electrónicos sin ningún esfuerzo. Esta empresa lleva más de 35 años trabajando en el desarrollo de un entorno que unifique el diseño de electrónica y ahora mismo es el programa más utilizado para diseñar PCBs en el mundo, confiado por empresas como Arduino o Lift. Con Altium Designer puedes crear diseños de PCBs con una interfaz muy intuitiva y potente, que además permite colaboración entre un equipo de varios ingenieros, revisión de diseños con comentarios y fabricación colaborativa. Otras características bastante útiles son la posibilidad de simular circuitos, simplificar diseños jerárquicos y multicanal, editar regiones flexibles y rígidas de forma independiente y muchísimo más. Además, podrás descargar una versión gratuita con el enlace abajo en la descripción por si lo quieres probar. Muchas gracias a Altium por patrocinar este espacio y ahora sigamos con el vídeo de hoy. Ok, antes de empezar es importante hablar del gran problema, la gran crítica a los portátiles gaming. Y es que siempre han sido y probablemente seguirán siendo durante muchos años peores que un PC de sobremesa. Peores en rendimiento, o sea que el mejor PC gaming es mucho mejor que el mejor portátil gaming. Pero esto no pasa solo en gaming, o sea, el mejor portátil para cálculo científico va a ser peor que el mejor PC para cálculo científico. Básicamente hay problemas técnicos que hacen que un portátil a partir de un cierto punto pues ya no pueda llegar a ser como una torre. Pero no solo en cuanto a rendimiento, sino también en el precio. Normalmente un portátil, teniendo en cuenta el monitor, teclado, periféricos en general y un poco todo lo que trae, como demostramos en otros vídeos, tiene un sobrecoste de un 30% aproximadamente respecto a una torre que tiene el mismo rendimiento. O sea, si tú te compras un portátil para jugar, tienes que saber que con un 30% menos de dinero puedes tener una torre igual, y no solo la torre, sino también el monitor, el teclado, ratón, alfombrilla, etc. Pero evidentemente el portátil pues tiene una gran ventaja, ¿no? Y es que te lo puedes llevar, es pequeño, puedes usarlo en distintas partes de tu casa y eso, solo eso, ya es suficiente para que ese 30% de precio extra valga la pena, ¿verdad? Bueno, eso ya es una decisión personal. Depende de cada uno, igual a ti te interesa tener un portátil, igual no, pero bueno, que sepas que hay esta diferencia de precio. No es de lo que vamos a hablar en este vídeo, aunque ojo, ojo, no es una mala idea para un vídeo, ¿eh? ¿Realmente vale la pena tener un portátil? ¿Necesitas un portátil en tu vida? Bueno, podríamos resumir el gran problema de los portátiles con dos inconvenientes técnicos. El primero es la alimentación y el segundo la temperatura. Tanto el procesador como la tarjeta gráfica son chips que generan muchísimo calor. Cuanto más potentes son, más calor generan y más consumen. En torre tenemos mucho espacio para enfriar componentes, nos da absolutamente igual el consumo, tenemos disipadores gigantes, pero aquí en los portátiles la cosa se complica. Enfriar un portátil es un reto de ingeniería bastante grande y muy difícil. Y es una de esas cosas que hace que el portátil también pese muchísimo más. El otro gran problema es la alimentación, cuánta corriente consume. Cuanto más consumo, más grande tiene que ser el cargador, más grande la batería y en fin, llega un momento que tenemos que llegar a un compromiso, ¿no? Tenemos que elegir o la una o la otra. O tengo un portátil fino con un cargador fino o tengo un portátil potente con un cargador gigante y con tanta disipación que ya casi no parece un portátil. Pero ahí está la magia de fabricar portátiles y la decisión que toma cada una de las marcas y fabricantes entre temperatura, consumo, tamaño, etcétera, etcétera. Este Razer Blade en concreto es un muy buen ejemplo. Lleva el procesador con mejor rendimiento en videojuegos, que es el i9 12900H, pero también lleva la gráfica más potente que existe para portátiles, que es la 3080 Ti. Y aquí hay dos cosas así de buenas a primeras que me sorprendieron muchísimo. Primero, que la gráfica más potente que tiene Nvidia pueda funcionar en un portátil tan pequeño, porque, a ver, este portátil realmente es bastante fino. O sea, si nos vamos a mirar años atrás, normalmente siempre la gráfica más bestia viene con portátiles muy gruesos, con mucho tamaño. Y el tamaño es necesario porque justamente tenemos que enfriar muchísimo. Pero esta vez no. Ahora esta generación parece que han llegado a hacer incluso portátiles relativamente finos con estas gráficas. Aquí yo tengo dos teorías, la verdad. Primero que nada, que en la serie 3000 de Nvidia las gráficas para alcanzar el mismo rendimiento consumen menos, o sea, el consumo es inferior. Por lo cual también se calientan menos, la temperatura es menor. Pero también hay otro tema, y es que este Razer Blade tiene una cosa muy especial, y es que tiene una cámara de vapor para enfriar tanto la gráfica como el procesador. Las vapor chamber o cámaras de vapor son un tipo de refrigeración que se usa mucho, sobre todo por ejemplo en los móviles. Son más caros que lo típico que se suele usar en los portátiles. Normalmente tenemos una serie de tubos de cobre que son huecos, que llevan una especie de líquido que lo aleja del centro y lo lleva hasta los ventiladores. Y aquí tenemos directamente una especie de placa que es toda homogénea, que está diseñada para transmitir el calor de forma muy rápida de una parte a la otra y es mucho más efectiva que los típicos heat pipes. Y esto pues está viniendo ahora a los portátiles también. Creo que este no es el primer portátil de Razer que lleva esto, ahora no lo recuerdo bien, lo estoy diciendo de memoria, pero es una gran solución, o sea, es muy buena idea traer esto a los portátiles y creo que en parte por eso también tenemos este hardware con esta refrigeración. Aunque bueno, seguramente los que lleváis tiempo en el canal, hayáis visto muchos vídeos o sepáis un poco de portátiles, me vais a decir, oye Nate, pero claro, es que esta gráfica no funciona a su máxima potencia. Seguro que en un portátil más grueso funcionaría mejor. Pues la verdad es que en este caso es posible que haya algún modelo en el mercado que le saque un poquito más de partido a la gráfica, pero la que estamos viendo aquí llega a la frecuencia máxima y vatios máximos de consumo que marca Nvidia, ¿no? Para esta gráfica, o sea, está totalmente desbloqueada, con sus consecuencias también, como veremos luego. Otra sorpresa es que estemos hablando del mejor portátil para gaming y tengamos un procesador de Intel, porque Intel en los últimos años lo ha hecho fatal en alto rendimiento. El problema de Intel básicamente es que estaban estancadísimos con una tecnología que era antigua, que no sé qué pasaba ahí, pero no conseguían sacar la nueva, y AMD sí que estaba sacando procesadores Ryzen muy buenos para portátiles y posiblemente si este vídeo lo hubiese hecho hace 6 meses hubiese habido un procesador Ryzen. De hecho creo que el último que vimos de este tipo llevaba un Ryzen, ahora no lo recuerdo. Pero una simple demostración de esto es por ejemplo cuando hicimos la review de los Macs de 14 y 16 pulgadas, que vimos que venían ya con el M1 Pro y M1 Max. Bueno, pues en ese vídeo comparamos varios portátiles con los Macs. Teníamos por ejemplo uno que tenía un Ryzen 5000 y otro que tenía un Intel de generación 11. Y el Intel es que hacía un ridículo increíble, o sea, consumía muchísima corriente, rendía menos, se calentaba muchísimo. Y bueno, ahora parece que con la generación 12 Intel vuelve a estar a la cabeza. Pero este portátil también ha tenido que hacer algunos sacrificios que veremos enseguida. Ok, a ver, hay muchas cosas de las que quiero hablar. Quiero sobre todo que cuando acabe este vídeo estéis bien informaditos sobre toda la escena actual de portátiles, o por lo menos que sepáis cómo funciona este mundillo, cuáles son sus limitaciones, qué hay que tener en cuenta, etcétera. Pero bueno, vamos a arrancar echando un ojo al producto que tenemos hoy aquí, nuestro sujeto de pruebas. Este no es un portátil pequeño, y ahí también está el truco, ¿vale? Por eso se puede permitir el lujo de ser tan fino a pesar de tener ese hardware, porque no es muy alto, pero sí es bastante ancho. es de 17 pulgadas. Aquí lo podéis ver al lado de un MacBook de 16 pulgadas. Y sí, lo he comparado con el MacBook de 16, primero porque lo estoy probando para el vídeo del ecosistema de Apple, pero además es que se parecen bastante. Creo que no es un secreto que Razer inspiró su portátil en el MacBook ya desde el principio. O sea, cuando crearon el Razer Blade, fueron mirando bastante a Apple. Normalmente Apple en construcción de chasis, acabados y otros aspectos como yo que sé, el teclado, la pantalla, altavoces. Los altavoces de Apple son increíbles. Suelen ser mejor que la gran mayoría de portátiles, incluso que los de gama alta. No os estoy hablando ni de rendimiento ni de calidad-precio, solo os hablo de construcción y bueno, los periféricos, ¿no? Que serían como altavoces y tal. Pero es que además, sobre todo cuando comparamos un Mac con un portátil gaming, el portátil gaming normalmente es que no tiene nada que hacer. Nunca he tenido un portátil gaming que esté a la altura de un MacBook en construcción y periféricos. Hasta ahora. Este portátil Razer es muy parecido, realmente parecido al MacBook Pro de 16. El sonido de los altavoces no está nada mal, es un poco peor. El touchpad y el teclado sí que me gustaron muchísimo, casi os diría que me gusta más el teclado del Razer que el del Mac. El único punto que se nota una diferencia es en la pantalla y tampoco es fácil de ver. Porque las pantallas de los MacBooks estos últimos años son demenciales, se ven de maravilla y tienen una representación de colores que es brutal. Normalmente no existe portátil con mejor pantalla y por eso la verdad me pareció un buen punto de comparativa. A ver qué tal lo hace el mejor portátil Windows contra el mejor portátil Mac, que Mac supuestamente son especialistas en esto. En el caso del Razer, a ver, yo pedí el modelo de portátil también que tuviese las mejores características que Razer tuviese a la venta. Y por eso lleva una pantalla 4K IPS de 144 Hz. Es una locura de panel, 100% del DCI-P3, con unos colores increíbles que no tienen nada que envidiar al MacBook. O sea, de hecho los pones uno al lado del otro y es increíble lo bueno que es. El único punto donde sí pillamos que hay una diferencia y que el Razer es un poco peor es en la representación de los negros. Porque el MacBook tiene una pantalla de matriz activa de retroiluminación. Eso significa, sí que suena muy complicado, pero bueno, los LEDs que retroiluminan la pantalla, hay unos LEDs que iluminan la pantalla por detrás, cuando vemos un color más oscuro se apagan o se ponen más oscuritos y esto hace que los negros sean prácticamente negros. En el Razer esto no pasa y por eso las zonas negras se ven un poquito más claritas. Esto los pones uno al lado del otro y pones una escena negra y se nota. Pero bueno, al final del día es un monitor IPS de respuesta rápida pensado para jugar y ahí el MacBook no tiene nada que hacer. O sea, realmente cada uno está enfocado para una cosa distinta, ¿no? Pero bueno, volvamos al hardware, que es lo que más nos interesa al final en este vídeo, ¿no? El mejor portátil que existe en el mundo para jugar. ¿Qué tal es su hardware y cómo funciona? Como os contaba antes, una cosa que me impresiona muchísimo es la gran mejora de las tarjetas gráficas que se hace a cada generación. Pero donde más se nota es en el tamaño. O sea, no solo hacen que los portátiles lleguen un poquito más lejos en rendimiento, o sea, que saquen más FPS, etcétera, sino también en tamaño. Y aquí hay un gran pero. Dos en realidad. El primero es algo que mucha gente ya sabe, pero hay otras personas que no. Y es que si nosotros vamos a la página web de Nvidia y vamos a mirar qué tienen entre la lista de gráficas más potentes para jugar, y vemos que primero tenemos la 3090 Ti, luego la 3090 y seguido la 3080 Ti. Es más, la diferencia entre estas no es demasiado grande. Igual la 3080 Ti es un 5% peor que la 3090 Ti. Podríamos decir que la 3080 Ti está en el tope de gama para jugar a videojuegos. Por eso, cuando tú ves un portátil que lleva una 3080 Ti, piensas: esto tiene que ser buenísimo, voy a poder jugar al Cyberpunk a 4K con Ray Tracing. Pero es que esta 3080 Ti que lleva el portátil es una 3080 Ti M Mobile, que se parece muy poquito a la 3080 Ti que estás viendo en la página web de Nvidia. No es la misma gráfica en ningún aspecto. La diferencia sobre todo está en el número de núcleos. En concreto, esto es algo que tampoco sabe mucha gente, pero cuando hablamos de una misma generación, como por ejemplo Nvidia Serie 3000, dentro de esta serie la diferencia entre una gráfica más barata, como puede ser la RTX 3050, que es la más básica, y la RTX 3090 Ti, que es la más potente, está en un tipo de núcleos especiales que se llaman Streaming Multiprocessor. Normalmente se les indica con una S y una M. El Streaming Multiprocessor es una unidad que lleva varios núcleos dentro, como por ejemplo en este caso de las gráficas de serie 3000 tenemos 4 núcleos Tensor, un núcleo Ray Tracing y 128 núcleos de cómputo, que también se conocen como CUDA Cores. Cuantos más de esto lleva una tarjeta gráfica, más potente es. Súmale a eso un poco de VRAM para almacenar datos que se van a procesar y eso es todo. Tienes una tarjeta gráfica, como por ejemplo la 3050 tiene 20 Streaming Multiprocessors, mientras que la RTX 3090 Ti tiene 84. Y ahí es donde la cosa me parece confusa. Uno esperaría que la 3080 Ti de portátil llevase los mismos núcleos que la 3080 Ti de ordenador de escritorio. Bueno, pues resulta que la 3080 Ti de escritorio lleva 80 Streaming Processors, mientras que la 3080 Ti de portátil solo tiene 58. Se podría decir que más bien está entre una 3070 Ti que tiene 48 y una 3080 que tiene 70. ¿Por qué se llama 3080 Ti entonces? ¿Qué sentido tiene? Bueno, no tiene sentido, ¿vale? Pero muchas marcas lo hacen. Por ejemplo, Intel hace lo mismo con los procesadores de portátiles. Ellos dicen i9 de portátil, pero luego no tiene nada que ver con el i9 que tenemos en una torre. No tienen ni los mismos núcleos ni nada parecido realmente. Y lo mismo pasa con AMD. Simplemente copian el nombre de sus hermanos mayores y solo sirven para que tú te hagas una idea de más o menos en qué gama estás, ¿no? Dónde se posicionaría esta gráfica. Si la 3080 Ti es la mejor gráfica de gaming para las torres, pues para Nvidia tiene sentido que la mejor gráfica que han hecho de gaming para portátiles también se llame 3080 Ti, aunque sea otra realmente, ¿vale? No es la misma. Pero esto también son buenas noticias, ¿no? Porque tenemos esta 3080 Ti, tiene un poco más de núcleos que la 3070 Ti y un poco menos que la 3080. Eso significa que va a rendir un poco mejor que una 3070 Ti de PC. Bueno, pues no, tampoco es así. De hecho, según nuestras pruebas que hemos hecho, el rendimiento es muy parecido al de una 3060 Ti, incluso un poco peor en algunos casos. O sea, para que todos lo entiendan, te va a sacar los mismos FPS un portátil con una 3080 Ti que una torre con una 3060 Ti, ¿vale? Esa es la idea. Pero bueno, si lo ponemos en perspectiva, esta gráfica es mejor que la RTX 2080, que es la gráfica de gama alta principal de la generación pasada. De hecho, estaría entre medio de una 2080 y una 2080 Super. Y la verdad es que tener un portátil tan fino, que tiene casi el rendimiento de la mejor torre gaming de hace 4 años, pues tampoco está nada mal. Teniendo en cuenta que los portátiles siempre son peores en rendimiento que las torres, siempre van por detrás, pero al final las acaban alcanzando, ¿no? Unos años más tarde, pero las alcanzan. Ok, pero si esta 3080 Ti tiene más núcleos que una 3070 Ti de un PC normal y corriente, ¿por qué rinde peor que la 3070 Ti de PC? Bueno, pues hay un segundo factor muy importante y es la frecuencia. Si la gráfica fuese un motor, la frecuencia son las revoluciones. Esta gráfica no llega a las mismas revoluciones que las de una torre. ¿Por qué? Pues porque no le da ni la corriente ni la temperatura para hacerlo. Te voy a contar algo muy bueno y algo muy malo, y voy a empezar por lo malo. En la generación pasada de Nvidia, la serie 2000, Nvidia sacó tarjetas gráficas para portátiles gaming que se calentaban muchísimo y necesitaban un cuerpo muy grueso con mucha ventilación para poder enfriarse bien. Pero también sacó una serie de tecnologías para que, si tú querías fabricar un portátil pues un poquito más fino, también pudieses llevar esa misma gráfica. Y para eso inventó el concepto de Max-Q. Max-Q es una versión de la gráfica que llega a menos frecuencia, o sea, consume menos corriente, por lo que se calienta menos. Te permite tener un portátil más fino, pero que rinde peor y que lleva esa misma gráfica. Básicamente, por ponerte un ejemplo, si tienes una RTX 2070 de portátil y una RTX 2070 de portátil Max-Q, el chip es exactamente el mismo, pero uno está limitado. Limitado incluso a la mitad de la potencia original. Esto generó algo de polémica cuando salieron los primeros portátiles Max-Q a la venta, pero ahora en esta generación, la serie 3000, el concepto de Max-Q directamente deja de existir. Pero deja de existir solo en nombre, ¿vale? Me explico. Ahora básicamente las gráficas de Nvidia, por ejemplo mismamente esta 3080 Ti de portátil, puede funcionar entre 80 vatios y 175 vatios. Esta es la potencia eléctrica que consume, o TGP, Total Graphics Power. Bueno, pues según lo que le convenga a cada fabricante, HP, Lenovo, MSI, Asus, Razer, ¿vale? Según lo que a cada uno le convenga, pues ellos pueden hacer que esta gráfica tenga más potencia o menos potencia. Puedes hacer que consuma 80 vatios, 100 vatios, 150 vatios, 175 vatios, y eso lo que hace pues es limitar la gráfica, ¿no? Si la gráfica de frecuencia máxima va a 1590, a 80 vatios funcionaría a 1125, que es un 30% menos. ¿Esto qué significa? Bueno, pues que igual tú te compras un portátil con una 3080 Ti y yo me compro otro y el tuyo rinde un 30% peor que el mío. Y tienen la misma gráfica y tú esto no lo sabes antes de comprarlo. Bueno, lo puedes mirar sin problemas en las especificaciones técnicas, pero no es tan fácil de mirar, tienes que saber un poco pues estas cosas, ¿no? Ahora te cuento lo bueno, ¿vale? Y es que este Razer Blade, por lo menos la potencia está limitada a 150 vatios para la gráfica. Pero aún así, para mi sorpresa, llega a la frecuencia máxima, o sea, llega a 1590 MHz, que es una frecuencia bastante alta y por el rendimiento está a la altura de lo máximo que vamos a poder conseguir en esta 3080 Ti. O sea, como os dije antes, a lo mejor hay algún portátil que la exprime un poquito más a esta gráfica, pero estamos delante de un portátil súper fino que realmente le saca una potencia muy bestia. Yo creo que es eso, en parte porque Nvidia ha mejorado mucho las gráficas y consumen menos, en parte por la cámara de vapor esta que tenemos aquí, y en parte también porque cuando jugamos a máxima potencia, el portátil se calienta y los ventiladores giran muy rápido. Ahora hablaremos de eso también. En conclusión, ¿vale? Para cerrar ya el tema, esta 3080 Ti rinde como una 3060 Ti de las normales, con la diferencia de que tiene más núcleos, pero funciona a menos frecuencia. ¿Y sabéis qué? Eso también la hace más cara, porque literalmente, físicamente, en esta 3080 Ti de portátil, hay más gráfica que en la 3060 Ti de escritorio. Más gráfica a menos potencia. Por eso tenemos un resultado parecido. Y este es uno de los muchos motivos por los cuales los portátiles siempre son más caros que un PC que tiene el mismo rendimiento, porque necesitan más tecnología y más hardware para hacer lo mismo. Ok, basta ya con la gráfica. Vamos a hablar ahora de la otra piedra angular que define el rendimiento de los portátiles, en videojuegos por lo menos, ¿vale? Que es el procesador. A ver, la gráfica está claro que es la pieza más importante de todas, ¿vale? Porque procesa los gráficos de los juegos y las imágenes que ves por pantalla, pero la segunda más importante, que ejecuta el juego, la música, la lógica y la inteligencia artificial de los personajes que están por ahí en el juego, es el procesador. En este caso, como os decía, tenemos un i9 12900H, que una vez más no tiene nada que ver con el 12900 que tenemos en las torres. Bueno, sí, en realidad los núcleos son los mismos y tenía mucho hype de probar estos núcleos en portátil porque toda la narrativa que tienen estos nuevos procesadores, esta nueva generación de Intel, es que son más eficientes y consumen menos corriente. Esto ya lo expliqué en muchos vídeos, pero bueno, básicamente lo que hacen es copiar un poco cómo funcionan los móviles. Usan núcleos muy pequeñitos que rinden muy poco pero consumen muy poquito también, y estos los usan para todas las tareas básicas que hace el ordenador, como por ejemplo, yo qué sé, si estás escribiendo un texto en Word, pues usarías estos núcleos pequeños. Pero luego imagínate que vas a jugar o vas a renderizar un vídeo o hacer algo que requiera mucha potencia, entonces ahí usarías los núcleos grandes. Y esto está genial porque, a ver, si necesitas potencia, los núcleos grandes te van a hacer falta y te van a calentar el portátil y te van a bajar la batería. Incluso en los nuevos MacBooks que son tan eficientes con los M1, también pasa, ¿vale? Pero los núcleos pequeñitos hacen que cuando tú no necesites tanta potencia, la batería realmente pueda durar más y lo puedas usar como un portátil de bajo consumo común y corriente. ¿Qué pasaba antes? Pues que antes tenías un portátil gaming que tenía 3 horas de batería, o sea, tú abrías Google y te ponías a navegar y tenías 3 horas de batería, se calentaba porque sí, o sea, tú estabas a lo mejor chateando por Discord y eso encendía los ventiladores que parecía que estaba jugando, se calentaba, y todo esto pasaba porque estabas haciendo el equivalente en informática a ir al súper a 30 por hora con un Ferrari. El motor del Ferrari consume una barbaridad, aunque vayas a 30 por hora y vayas hasta el súper. ¿Vale? Tienes ahí unos núcleos muy potentes que por poco que hagan ya tienen un consumo de base que es grande. Ahora con esta diferenciación de pequeño-grande, pues mucho mejor. Pero eso no significa que cuando estás jugando o exportando un vídeo o descomprimiendo un archivo se activen esos núcleos potentes y la cosa empiece a calentarse y a consumir. De hecho, os voy a contar una cosa que cada vez tengo más clara. Alder Lake, esta nueva generación de Intel, se calienta muchísimo, sobre todo los núcleos grandes. Claro, ¿no? Los pequeños, bueno, están bien, sin más, pero los grandes son auténticas bestias. Estamos hablando de que en una torre un i9 necesita una refrigeración especial, o sea, tú no puedes meter ahí un i9 con un ventiladorcito porque eso arde, ¿vale? Incluso para sacarle el máximo rendimiento necesitas una líquida custom. Aquí en portátil no cualquiera tampoco puede enfriarlo bien y me he llevado una sorpresa bastante grande con esto. Pongamos, por ejemplo, Cinebench, que es una prueba de renderizar una imagen de estas típicas que se usan en renders de arquitectura, ¿vale? Es una prueba del programa Cinema 4D y usa todo el procesador con máxima potencia. Total, que Cinebench en este portátil sobrecalienta el procesador. O sea, el procesador llega a 100 grados y lo que pasa cuando llega a esta temperatura es que se produce el llamado thermal throttling, en español estrangulamiento térmico. Y eso básicamente es que el ordenador pisa el freno a este núcleo o núcleos que se han calentado y hace que rindan menos, o sea, les baja las revoluciones para que no arda, ¿no? Si no se quemaría el portátil. Y a ver, esto es algo que he visto en muchos portátiles, pasa en muchos ordenadores, pero la verdad yo no me lo esperaba. O sea, yo pensaba que iba a ir un poco más fino. Y de aquí saco dos conclusiones. Bueno, la primera es que los núcleos potentes de Alder Lake son un horno, incluso en portátiles. Los eficientes muy bien, pero los grandes son una auténtica barbaridad. Pero por otra parte, hay que tener en cuenta que Cinebench es una prueba que exprime todo el procesador con unas instrucciones muy concretas y lo levanta más de lo que suelen hacer otros programas. Por ejemplo, en pruebas de videojuegos, a la hora de jugar a un juego, por muy pesado que sea, no he visto este problema de temperatura. El procesador siempre se mantiene en temperaturas más o menos aceptables, ¿vale? O sea, se calienta como todos los portátiles, pero no llega a hacer estrangulamiento y todo funciona bien. Esto me dio mucho que pensar. Y claro, volvemos al tema de diseño de portátiles. Este es un portátil fino, ¿vale? Hay 1000 portátiles en el mercado de tamaños, formas, etcétera, etcétera. Este es uno fino. Es el tipo de ordenador que yo me compraría, pero claro, tiene una limitación a la hora de enfriarse, porque al ser fino, pues nos cabe una refrigeración bastante finita. Y aquí es donde los ingenieros de Razer tuvieron un dilema. Tenemos un i9 y una 3080 Ti. O limitamos la gráfica o limitamos el procesador. Y en este caso, pues tiene mucho sentido darle la prioridad a la tarjeta gráfica, Que la gráfica consuma más electricidad, que la gráfica enfríe mejor, que la gráfica llegue a su máxima potencia y que el procesador pues quede en un segundo plano, porque repito, este i9 en gaming funciona de lujo en este portátil, o sea, no tiene problemas de temperatura. El rendimiento es el que tiene que ser, pero en otro tipo de programas que no son gaming y piden mucha carga del procesador, ahí sí que se nota que la prioridad la tuvo la gráfica, ¿vale? Y no el procesador. Si el procesador y la gráfica son dos hermanos, los padres pues le dieron a la gráfica la habitación grande y al procesador la habitación pequeña. Una forma más fácil de entenderlo. De todos modos, el hijo CPU se lo merece porque es un maldito horno y no hay quien lo enfríe, pero aún así, aún siendo un horno, y aquí viene lo más interesante, aún con estrangulamiento térmico, este i9 saca más puntos respecto a los nuevos Ryzen de AMD para portátiles. A ver, en algún caso el AMD es un poco mejor, la distancia no es muy grande, pero podríamos decir que Intel ha conseguido ser el ganador de esta generación. Este i9 en concreto es un 15% mejor en media respecto al procesador más potente que tiene AMD, que es el Ryzen 9 6900HX. Y por cierto, que no lo dijimos, tiene 14 núcleos, 6 grandes y 8 pequeñitos. Esos 8 pequeños yo creo que le dan la vida, también. Ahora, tengo que decir también que hay portátiles en el mercado que son más gruesos, más pesados, que consiguen a lo mejor que este mismo i9 pues saque mejores cifras. Pero ahí está un poco la gracia, ¿no?, del mundo de los portátiles. Existen todo tipo de formas, tamaños y bueno, cada uno pues es libre de elegir qué le gusta más. Si prefiere que el i9 llegue a su máxima potencia en un portátil, que sea grueso, con buena refrigeración, pero que no lo puedas meter en la mochila o que te pese 5 kilos, y hay gente que prefiere pues un portátil más discreto, más fino, y a lo mejor tampoco hace falta que en todos los casos vaya a la máxima potencia. ¿Cómo elegir entre tantas opciones? Bueno, pues haremos una guía de compra en el canal. No os preocupéis porque se viene guía de compra bien completita. Ahora, antes de irnos, hay una gran advertencia que quiero hacer. Mucha gente esto no lo sabe y cuando se compra un portátil de este tipo se lleva una pequeña, a veces gran decepción. Hay una diferencia muy grande entre un portátil normal y uno de gaming. En un portátil gaming, todos los portátiles gaming, este Razer Blade incluido, funcionan infinitamente mejor cuando están conectados a la corriente. Cuando se desconectan, pierden rendimiento en los juegos. Esto es porque la batería muchas veces no les puede dar la misma cantidad de alimentación que les da el cargador. Entonces, pues, funcionan a menos potencia. Y aunque se la diera, la batería duraría, pues, media hora jugando o algo por el estilo. Esto es lo que hay, ¿vale? No hay solución de momento y es la consecuencia de tener un hardware tan potente. Ahí, si compráis un portátil de este tipo, es lo que vais a tener, no hay otra. Es más, muchos portátiles gaming también tienen un problema y es que la tarjeta gráfica consume una barbaridad de corriente y cuando tú, pues no sé, estás navegando por Google Chrome, tanto el procesador como la gráfica, porque son tan bestias, empiezan a consumir y a calentarse y te baja la batería y se encienden los ventiladores y tú no entiendes nada, ¿no? Estás ahí y dices, pero si estoy mirando Google y de repente esto parece una estufa, ¿qué está pasando? Bueno, pues esto al final es porque estás usando un hardware totalmente sobredimensionado para una tarea muy simple. En la torre no pasa nada, pero claro, en un portátil sí que pasa. Ahora, los Alder Lake, con el tema de los núcleos pequeños y grandes, han resuelto muy bien este problema, ¿vale? Ahora ya no pasa de la misma manera que pasaba antes. Y por otro lado, también la gráfica. La gráfica, en estas últimas generaciones, sobre todo en esta última, de la serie 3000, hay una tecnología especial de Nvidia que lo que hace es que el portátil trae dos tarjetas gráficas. Tiene la integrada de Intel, que está dentro del procesador, y luego tiene la dedicada, que es la de Nvidia, que es, bueno, la 3080 Ti en este caso. Cuando tú no estás jugando y no estás haciendo nada demasiado complejo, Nvidia desactiva la gráfica y activa la del procesador. Entonces tú haces todo con la del procesador, que es chiquitica, que consume muy poco. Es bastante mala, pero bueno, ahí está, consume muy poco. Luego tú abres el juego y arranca la otra y empieza a funcionar. Esto lo hacen muy bien, mucho mejor que en otras generaciones. Tengo que decir que está muy bien. Esta tecnología, por cierto, se llama Nvidia Optimus. Y bueno, ya la conocemos del vídeo de Linux, donde nos dio muchísimos problemas. Y de hecho, yo no os recomiendo instalar Linux si tenéis un portátil con Nvidia Optimus, porque la experiencia es un poco mala, en mi opinión por lo menos. Y por último, como os decía, el portátil mientras tú juegas va a consumir mucha corriente, lo cual si estás conectado al cargador te da más o menos igual, pero sí que va a tener otra consecuencia y es que va a empezar a calentar muchísimo, va a empezar a hacer muchísimo ruido y esto, señores, es así. Hay formas de limitarlo, puedes limitar los FPS, puedes cambiar el plan de energía, incluso un poco cómo funciona el ordenador desde la utilidad de Razer, pero es una constante universal. Portátiles de este tipo cuando juegas se calientan y eso es algo que tienes que saber antes de comprar uno de estos. No te recomiendo ponértelo en las piernas, no te recomiendo desconectarle la batería. Y digo esto porque mucha gente me dice, oye, que me he comprado un portátil gaming y cuando juego se calienta muchísimo. ¿Qué está pasando? Bueno, pues que lo hacen todos los portátiles gaming, ¿vale? Que lo sepáis. Cuanto más potentes, más se calientan. Bueno, pequeño resumen, ¿vale? Advertencias antes de comprarte un portátil gaming. Te va a salir un 30% más caro que una torre. Por mucho que ponga 3080 Ti, eso no es una 3080 Ti. Por mucho que diga i9, eso no es un i9. Por lo menos no lo que se conoce en torre como 3080 Ti e i9. Luego, cuanto más fino, menos va a poder enfriarse y seguramente algún sacrificio va a tener que hacer de rendimiento. Pero bueno, aunque sea grueso, también se va a calentar y también va a hacer mucho ruido de ventiladores, incluso a veces más. También tienes que saber que si juegas con batería no te va a ir igual y la batería te va a durar nada, y cuando juegues se va a calentar mucho. Además de que los ventiladores van a hacer mucho ruido. ¡Hala! Ya estás advertido. De estas cosas, ningún portátil se va a salvar. Aún así, quitando esos puntos, tengo que decir que por todas las mejoras que os he nombrado en este vídeo, sobre todo por lo bien que se porta cuando vas a trabajar, o sea, lo mucho que dura la batería, lo eficiente que es gracias a todo esto que expliqué, ¿no? Del Optimus y los núcleos pequeños. Y por otro lado, lo bestia que es el rendimiento cuando vas a jugar, a pesar de ser tan fino, la verdad es que me he quedado muy impresionado con lo muchísimo que han mejorado este tipo de portátiles. Y además, la calidad de construcción, que el aspecto exterior ha mejorado muchísimo. O sea, hace 5 años un portátil gaming era todo rendimiento, todo gráfica, todo plástico, calidad de construcción mediocre, estética que le den, pero ahora creo que estamos delante de un producto, y bueno, en general de productos que hay en el mercado, que cada vez son más equilibrados, y sobre todo ahora que estamos a las puertas de una nueva generación, porque gente, dentro de un mes y algo ya veremos el lanzamiento de la serie 4000 de Nvidia, que bueno, esto llegará para portátiles en febrero o marzo del año que viene. La verdad tengo muchas ganas de ver qué es lo que se viene, porque vamos, o sea, aunque no sean perfectos, las mejoras que han tenido los portátiles en estos últimos años han sido una locura. Yo creo que la informática es donde más ha avanzado con diferencia en el tema de portátiles. Y bueno, eso es todo. Si te ha gustado este vídeo, ya sabes, déjame un manito para arriba, suscríbete al canal y nos vemos en el próximo vídeo. Bueno. Una 3090 Ti en mi camino. Se suponía que eso no tenía que estar ahí. ¿Os acordáis que hace muy poco hicimos un mod de Dying Light 2? El nuevo juego que salió de Techland, se llama la empresa. Básicamente fue uno de los mods más alucinantes que hemos hecho en mucho tiempo. La verdad que estoy súper contento con el resultado. Tira fuego, ¿vale? Porque, ¿por qué no? Es un mod que hicimos totalmente de cero con piezas de metal y hoy por fin lo vamos a enviar a Estados Unidos. ¿Qué va a pasar con él en Estados Unidos? No tengo la menor idea. Nos lo han pedido que lo enviemos allí, a la central de Estados Unidos. Yo entiendo que el PC se iba a sortear, así que imagino que va a ir ya a la persona que gana el sorteo. Pero bueno, yo la verdad ahora mismo no lo sé. Surfshark es un servicio de VPN. Su funcionamiento es muy simple. En lugar de conectarte de forma directa a los servidores de internet, te conectas a Surfshark y ellos se conectan por ti. Esto te permite hacerte pasar por alguien de otro país para ver series de Netflix en más de 15 países distintos. También filtra anuncios no deseados y posible malware, y te permite conectarte con infinitos dispositivos. O sea, lo puedes tener en tu móvil, tu PC, tu tele o directamente en el router de casa. Por otro lado, tus datos viajarán cifrados, lo cual reduce el riesgo de intercepción cuando utilizas redes Wi-Fi públicas. Y por último, Surfshark no guarda ningún tipo de registro de tu actividad. Utiliza el código de descuento NATE para obtener un descuento del 83% y 3 meses extra gratis. Gracias a Surfshark por patrocinar este espacio y ahora sigamos con el vídeo de hoy. Y creo que este vídeo está interesante por dos motivos. Primero, porque ya que no vimos el rendimiento, o sea, en su momento cuando montamos el PC, nos centramos mucho en cuál era, pues, las distintas partes del montaje, porque ya solo el montaje, el diseño, todo el proceso, todo lo que vivimos, que es increíble, os recomiendo muchísimo que miréis el vídeo, porque la verdad que está muy guapo, pues todo ese proceso ya fue bastante duro y bastante largo, como para además ponernos ahí a hacer benchmarks y cosas que igual son un poco más aburridas. Pero como sé que muchos de vosotros nos preguntáis, ¿qué hacéis con los mods una vez que habéis terminado, etcétera, etcétera? Pues hoy os voy a enseñar qué es lo que pasa exactamente con los mods, cómo los preparo para enviar, cómo los embalamos, cómo, bueno, todas las cosas que tenemos que hacer, que son más de las que imaginaréis. O sea, vosotros os pensáis que cuando yo termino de hacer un mod, a lo mejor saco el vídeo y el PC ya está ahí funcional y perfecto. Hay veces que el PC funciona, pero todavía queda por instalar Windows, todavía queda por hacer pruebas. Incluso en este caso ni siquiera tenemos el botón de encendido, o sea, el PC ahora mismo no se puede encender. Así que primero que nada lo tenemos aquí. Esta es la cara más oscura y os voy a decir la verdad, esta es la que realmente le gusta a mi padre. O sea, la otra cara del otro lado, que es más colorida, más bonita, tal y cual, pues es la que más nos ha gustado a todos, pero él se empeñó en hacer esta cara. de metal puro y duro, así gris en tonos industriales. Tengo que decir que también es bastante bonita, pero a mí la verdad me recuerda más a Full Metal Alchemist. Te lo voy a enseñar. No sé, me parece más un mod de Full Metal Alchemist de este lado que otra cosa. Tiene un aire, ¿no? A mí me recuerda mucho. Pensad que este mod ahora mismo echa fuego y nosotros esto lo tenemos que mandar a Estados Unidos. O sea, si mandas a Estados Unidos 2 bombonas de gas con un lanzallamas, con unos pinchos que podrían matar a una persona, porque esto está más afilado que el carajo, pues yo creo que podríamos tener algún problema para que llegue entero. Así que primero que nada, lo primero que vamos a hacer para empezar es limar todas las puntas que te puedan pinchar, cortar o directamente acabar con tu existencia, ¿vale? Otro aspecto muy importante que tenemos que hacer aquí es el tema del lanzallamas, ¿vale? El lanzallamas en principio lleva 2 bombonas de gas que van en la parte de arriba. Ahora, ¿qué pasa? Yo ahora mismo las he quitado. No tengo claro que las mandemos, ¿vale? Yo creo que quizás mandaremos el mod sin las bombonas, porque ¿qué pasa? Estas bombonas hemos intentado vaciarlas de gas, hemos quemado todo el gas. Vamos a hablar con el distribuidor que nos vende el gas, a ver qué nos sugieren ellos y en base un poco a eso las mandamos o no las mandamos, porque también puede pasar que en aduanas abran esto, vean que tiene bombonas de gas y digan, oye, que va a ser que no, ¿no? De hecho, muy graciosa la anécdota. La empresa del nuevo dueño de Twitter, de Boring Company, sacó un lanzallamas al mercado, que en realidad lo que era no era un lanzallamas, era como una antorcha que disparaba fuego, ¿vale? Para quemar cosas, en plan medio industrial, pero que le habían puesto como la estética así de plástico, que era como un lanzallamas de verdad, ¿no? Y lo curioso es que cuando te lo comprabas te venía sin el gas y te venía con una carta y unos dólares, creo que eran $5. Y te decía, no hemos podido incluir el gas porque es ilegal, así que te dejamos aquí un dinero para que vayas a la ferretería y te lo compres tú. Nada, anécdota muy graciosa. A lo mejor podemos poner aquí también unos $, y que ellos se la compren. Y sobre todo, pensad que estamos mandando a Estados Unidos un PC con una líquida custom. Voy a vaciar el líquido, se lo voy a quitar todo, lo voy a drenar y lo mandaré totalmente vacío con una botellita de relléname. Quizás hasta les mando un tutorial sobre cómo rellenarlo. Y otra cosa muy importante a la hora de mandar un mod es que los mods siempre se tienen, y los PCs en general que hacemos nosotros, siempre se tienen que mandar en un palet, en una caja de madera paletizada. ¿Por qué? En las empresas de transporte o en los transportes, las cajas a veces se caen, se golpean misteriosamente, acaban aplastadas. Entonces, la idea es que la caja sea tan grande y tan pesada que realmente no se pueda lanzar o no se pueda tirar o no se pueda aplastar, ¿vale? Realmente construir una caja que sea incluso más robusta que el ordenador es muy buena idea y muchas marcas lo hacen. O sea, literalmente, prácticamente cuando se mandan PCs así un poco más de lujo y tal, se hace una caja de madera, que igual la caja vale ya 50 o 100 euros, ¿vale? Porque es una caja robusta, pero vale la pena, o sea, vale la pena por el buen packaging y esto pues va a pasar por varios procesos de aduanas y tal. Vamos por partes, vamos a empezar primero que nada instalando Windows, a ver qué tal rinde, cómo funciona, si las temperaturas, etcétera, etcétera. Aunque teniendo un 12900K de procesador, yo creo que esto va a ser caliente un rato. Así que nada, vamos allá. Bueno, vamos a empezar un poco con la parte de software, que es además una de las más importantes, ¿no? El ordenador tiene que tener su Windows instalado, tiene que funcionar, tenemos que ver qué tal los test de rendimiento, a ver si el hardware está todo bien. De todos modos, nosotros siempre antes de montar un mod, hacemos una prueba del hardware, ¿no? Porque tú imagínate que yo pues monto un mod con un montón de, que si gráfica, placa base, procesador, RAM, etcétera, y de repente no funciona. ¿Qué hago? Me lo como con patatas, ¿no? O sea, tengo que repetir el mod o cambiar alguna pieza. La gráfica, por ejemplo, la tendríamos que haber cambiado entera. Así que siempre antes de montar un PC es importante, por lo menos en nuestro caso, testear que todo funcione bien. El gran problema que tiene ahora, por eso, de todos modos, es que no tiene botón de encendido. El motivo, bueno, es que realmente esta torre la hemos diseñado nosotros, la hemos fabricado de cero, la hemos hecho en una semana. Entonces, bueno, pues no le pusimos botón de encendido porque no daba tiempo y tampoco es súper importante para el vídeo, ¿no? O sea, yo te puedo sacar un vídeo con un PC que no tiene botón de encendido y tú no te vas a dar cuenta, ¿vale? Entonces, ¿qué es lo que hago yo para encender un PC cuando no tengo botón para encenderlo? Bueno, pues cojo un alambrecito de estos, que son los típicos que vienen para los cables de los ratones o los teclados. Entonces a esto con la uña le quito la parte de plástico que tiene y me deja libre el interior, que es de metal. Bueno, pues le quito la parte de plástico, me queda el metal y le hago un pliegue, ¿no? Entonces me queda como así, doblado, ¿no? Y con esta puntita de aquí voy a hacer contacto entre dos pines que están en la placa base, que son los pines del botón de encendido, porque realmente lo que hace el botón de encendido de un ordenador es juntar los dos pines. Tiene dos cablecitos que van de esos pines hasta el botón y cuando tú aprietas el botón, lo único que ocurre es que se cierra ese contacto y se produce un corto entre estos dos pines, ¿no? Y eso le da la señal al ordenador de arrancar. Nosotros podemos simular eso uniendo simplemente los dos pines con alguna pieza metálica. Pero hay que tener cuidado, obviamente, porque si no te puedes cargar el ordenador. Así que nada, yo lo voy a encender. Vale, ya está arrancando, lo vemos porque la RAM se nos enciende, se nos prende aquí la RAM directamente. Y bueno, algún LED más que tiene, se escuchan los ventiladores, el ordenador ahora mismo va a arrancar y lo vamos a ver aquí en pantalla. Lo siguiente que tenemos que hacer es activar el XMP, que en Intel se llama XMP, en AMD se llama DOCP, que significa Direct Overclocking Profile, mientras que el XMP de Intel es Extreme Memory Profile. Básicamente cada marca le pone un nombre para no llamarle igual, pero sería el mismo concepto. Entonces, para activar este perfil XMP en Intel o el DOCP en AMD, lo que tenemos que hacer es arrancamos el PC con un botón normal, idealmente, ¿vale? Pero si no tenéis botón ya sabéis lo que tenéis que hacer. Y nada más empieza a arrancar el ordenador, le vamos a dar a la tecla suprimir, muchas veces. Y eventualmente aquí nos va a aparecer la bendita BIOS. Ok, ahora que estamos en la BIOS, modo fácil, vemos un overview de todo lo que tenemos aquí en el ordenador. Vamos a ver aquí a la derecha de todo, en el caso de que la placa sea Asus, el XMP. Esta placa es Asus, pero en la mayoría de placas suele estar en este resumen del modo fácil. Entonces, tenemos el XMP, por defecto está desactivado. ¿Esto qué significa? Bueno, pues que la RAM está funcionando a la frecuencia de base, la que viene por defecto. Yo aquí tengo un PC con una DDR5 y aquí me pone que son módulos de Corsair que están funcionando a 4000 MHz. Pero ¿qué pasa? Que yo quizás he comprado una RAM que va más rápido, por ejemplo, imaginaros a 5200 MHz o megatransfers, depende cómo lo queráis llamar. Y sin embargo, la placa me dice que está funcionando a 4000. ¿Qué está pasando aquí? Bueno, pues resulta que si tú no activas el XMP, la placa nunca va a funcionar a la frecuencia que debería, ¿no? ¿Y cómo lo hacemos? Pues simplemente desplegamos, le damos a habilitado. Normalmente en estas DDR5 hay varios perfiles, pero bueno, yo voy a dejar este que viene aquí por defecto, que es el DDR5 5200 con, bueno, 38 de cache latency, y le voy a dar a guardar y salir. Aquí me dice un resumen un poco de lo que va a cambiar. Va a pasar de frecuencia automática a 5200, que es lo que a mí más me interesa. Le doy a Enter y el PC se reinicia con este nuevo perfil de RAM. ¿Qué puede pasar aquí? Puede pasar que el PC no arranque, que se quede pillado y me salga al final un error, o incluso que no arranque nunca. Si eso pasara, tenemos que ir a la parte de atrás y darle a un botón que pone Reset BIOS. Pero si no lo tuviera, yo lo que puedo hacer es desconecto el cable de alimentación. Hay una pequeña pila de reloj en la placa base, la quito, me espero 5 segundos, la vuelvo a conectar, enciendo el ordenador y esto borra automáticamente toda la configuración de la BIOS. Pero bueno, en este caso no va a hacer falta. Y además, normalmente si la BIOS no funciona a la frecuencia que debería, o sea, vosotros activáis el perfil XMP y esto no arranca ni para atrás, o sea, no funciona, lo que tenéis que hacer es actualizar la versión de la BIOS. Ahora nos va a arrancar a la primera y ya le podemos instalar Windows con esa RAM a 5200 MHz. No os voy a enseñar cómo instalo Windows, ¿vale? Lo voy a instalar y nos vemos cuando termine. Bueno, pues ya lo tenemos, he instalado un Windows 11. ¿Por qué Windows 11? Porque esto es un procesador Alder Lake de la generación 12 de Intel y, bueno, va mejor con Windows 11, se lleva mejor. ¿Cuál es el motivo? Bueno, pues resulta que este procesador tiene núcleos pequeños y grandes, tiene dos tipos de núcleos. Esto es lo mismo que tienen los móviles, lo mismo que tiene, por ejemplo, el nuevo Apple Silicon, ¿vale? Tenemos núcleos que son de alta eficiencia pero bajo rendimiento, consumen menos corriente, se calientan menos, y luego tenemos otros que usan mucha potencia, se calientan más y hacen tareas más pesadas. La idea sería que el PC está todo el rato balanceando las tareas entre unos y otros. Cuando la tarea es muy sencilla, se la pasa a los E-cores, que son estos núcleos eficientes que hacen muy poco trabajo, y cuando la tarea empieza a ser realmente pesada, que necesita un músculo más grande, se la pasa a los P-cores, a los de alta performance. Entonces,